to There Will Be Spoilers, the show which is filled with spoilers and is always late. This time only a week and 13 minutes. So, you know, we're doing well. I think
we're getting better.
I think we're improving. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's Friday the 13th where you are, isn't it?
It sure is.
And to celebrate Friday the 13th, I've got a special announcement. Little Miss Anon is going to do the entire show using the voice of Jason Voorhees. Well, coincidentally, he never speaks on camera, so we don't know what his voice actually sounds like. But coincidentally, it sounds
doing
exactly,
it now, asshole.
It sounds exactly like Anon's normal speaking voice. So that's probably why he doesn't speak on camera.
I'm also embarrassed by it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm not ashamed to admit that I've been sleeping with Jason Voorhees this entire time. So there's the dog.
Well, he's such a slut.
Hey, that's the way you keep from getting murdered. You have to fuck him. You just can't fuck other people.
Oh, so he just gets angry when other people are fucking
and
don't involve him.
He wants to be included. You must invite Jason to your orgy or else you're going to die.
Oh, well, he just wants to be the filling in that sandwich.
He does.
Basically.
We've all seen Jason Voorhees on Pornhub, though, so you know.
Oh, please tell me somebody has a Pornhub channel called
not to my knowledge. That was a joke, but I'm sure there is probably something.
It's got to be. There's got to be.
Probably.
I would hope so.
We'll have to do a special on it sometime.
So is that mentally challenged human Jason or zombie maggot-ridden Jason?
Both.
Yeah.
With each other.
Orgy.
Was it both at the same time with each other? Oh my.
With each other. I mean, come on.
Why are we like this?
It's a time traveling by orgy.
I think we just wrote the 14th installment.
Are we up to 14?
I think it's 14.
Okay.
I think it might be.
Is it? They've done the 13th, have they not?
Oh man.
Come on.
Wait, 9, 10. No, they haven't.
Jason X was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the crossovers and the remake.
Yeah, apart from Freddy versus Jason, which was awesome, by the way, in its own stupid way.
Well, I enjoyed Jason X just because it was so silly.
Oh, it was ridiculous, and it had David Cronenberg in the intro. It was pretty awesome. So he was his
that's
first
one of my
victim,
favorite Friday the 13th. Even though it didn't actually have that in the title. You know,
it was just so silly, wasn't it? Aren't they ridiculous?
Yeah.
I think they started to revel in their ridiculousness at around part 5. They just kind of went with it.
You know, I'm also a little bit disappointed in us for not doing a Friday the 13th special. Instead handing it off to a animator of childhood wonders.
Well, I mean,
I could do a Friday the 13th special.
We could, but it wouldn't be on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, this show was planned for last week, so
which means originally there wouldn't have been a show here at all, which means we still would have failed to do a Friday the 13th episode on Friday the 13th.
And technically it's Saturday the 14th where I am. So
nobody cares about your upside down.
You know what? There is a spoof movie called Saturday the 14th. So
is there?
There is, yes.
You could do a Friday the 13th prequel series called Thursday the 12th.
Nothing interesting happens on a Thursday.
Well, Jason could go shopping for
Thursday the 12th. Jason gets frustrated that it's not Friday.
Sits around looking at the clock, waiting for the teenagers to turn up and
the teenagers to start fucking, so he has an excuse to murder.
He just is lonely.
Is he an incel? Is he the first incel? Are we now going to see numerous feminist articles?
Friday the 13th, part 15, the first incel.
Ground Zero, incel 1.
Because apparently there's been a few articles claiming that the new Joker movie is pro-incel or something.
Oh God, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm
gonna watch it.
All too familiar with the quote unquote reviews that have come up in the last week or so.
So I imagine if there was a new Friday the 13th movie, there would be numerous articles claiming that Jason is an incel. And
oh, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that Jason's behavior all of these years was toxic? Honestly. Who would have thought?
It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
It was a shock to me when I saw that article. I mean,
yeah, we all loved him. We all thought he was wonderful. We all rooted for him, and then he turns out to just be another toxic male.
I think if people were rooting for him, it wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, sure. Now you're on the side. Your toxic masculinity is showing.
Well, no, I'm referring to rooting as in the Australian slang for it.
But where do we draw the line here? Because Jason Voorhees is in fact mentally ill.
But he's white.
Yeah, but don't discriminate against him because of that.
He's a white cis male, so he can just suffer forever.
He lives alone in a cabin in the woods.
And he just doesn't want teenagers fucking without inviting him, okay?
Yeah, the Chads and the Stacys, that's the problem.
It is. You've been on the incel subreddit, haven't you?
No, I've just heard feminists reply to it. I've never actually been on an incel.
You should. It's quite spectacularly hilarious and also really sad all at the same time.
Reading an incel subreddit is a train wreck you just can't look away from.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, this is so far removed from Don Bluth that
it really is.
But it is Friday the 13th, so happy Friday the 13th.
Are you saying we can't blame Don Bluth for the incel phenomenon issue on the internet?
I like how you just totally gave up on the word phenomenon.
I know, because I haven't had a great deal of sleep, and I'm drinking
I was just going to ask you, have you slept, my friend? Have you slept?
I did get some sleep, but I still woke up tired, so...
Okay.
Sleep is a phenomenon.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
phenomena.
Hey, I'm tired. I'm drinking, so leave me alone.
I too have experienced phenomena.
This is the best you get.
Yes. Well,
this is Bane at his fucking peak,
and I am thankful for it.
So, I guess we should actually get into the movies because we've been talking for 8 minutes and
not mentioned any of it once. Since we're going to talk about Don Bluth's films,
we do have 3 movies to discuss. The first one gave me flashbacks to a video game from the 1980s.
Well, sure.
Was it by any chance Dragon's Lair?
Yeah, it was.
Which is fantastic and frustrating and awful and great. And
I wasted so much money on that fucking game as a kid. I could never figure out how to play it.
He animated it.
Yes, I know he did. Yes. That's kind of my point.
I'm trying to tell the audience that they may not know this.
It's so obvious when you look at God. What was my pick again? The space one.
It was Titan AE. Yeah,
that's the one.
Space one. You're really on the ball today, aren't you?
I mean, you know what? It is. I guess I might be getting ahead of myself, but Titan AE is fairly generic sci-fi, so I don't really blame him for just kind of.
Oh yeah, it's
but it's good. It's good sci-fi, and it works as a rated PG animated film. It works. I think I'll just say that right out of the gate.
I'll say right from the start. I think that was the worst of the 3 movies we're reviewing today. Not that it was horrible.
No, it was
but it had the same. It's got the same jerky head movements in the characters that Dragon's Lair had, and it gave me instant flashbacks to that game.
Sure, and the pioneering, I'm using air quotes here, pioneering CG for the backgrounds in Titan AE as well.
Yeah, some of that looked great, and some of it looked freaking terrible.
Yeah, the animation for what are they called? The dredge or whatever.
Yes,
the animation for them, it was rotoscoped, and we'll get into rotoscoped animation with Don Bluth a lot in this discussion, I think.
Yeah,
because that was his main weapon in his arsenal, I guess. That looked fantastic, but any other CG is just terrible.
The planet at the end was awful.
It was.
But a lot of the scenery, like the background scenery, and a lot of the space was quite beautiful.
It was. But that's the end, and we go through this every time. God damn it, spoilers.
Yeah.
We did get to that.
In case the name's not a giveaway, there may be spoilers in this show.
All the spoilers.
Yeah, all the spoilers all the time.
So we may as well do Titan AE first.
Well, I was going to say the second movie we're going to review is a prequel to Jurassic Park.
Oh my god. I'm going to climb through this computer and punch you.
What? It's an internet theory that I just came up with. It's valid. You can't say that it's not.
Technically, any
life on Earth is a prequel to Jurassic Park. I guess I don't know. No. I mean, you know what? I think I agree with the order in this particular case.
You've heard of the Willy Wonka Snowpiercer theory, haven't you? That they're part of the same universe. Well, if that's a theory,
I have.
Then I can have my theory that the second movie we're reviewing is a prequel to Jurassic Park.
That's a thing?
It is a ridiculous theory, but it's also a very interesting read, to say the least. It is. Or an interesting video, depending on how you consume it.
You people have weird fucking hobbies.
We do.
I love crazy internet theories about movies. They're great.
I don't
think it's very convincing, but while you're watching it, your heart opens and you're like, oh, wow, dude.
Meanwhile, I'm snoring. I'm sawing logs. Bane's always trying to get me sucked into these long-winded movie theories.
Oh yeah, I think that video was like 47 minutes long. It was great. That was a wonderful evening. I love that.
I think Darth Jar Jar is a great theory, just because it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
I would rather
Sith Lord Jar Jar. Yeah, yes, sir.
I would rather watch Neil Breen for 10 hours.
Which is our next show. So
Misa, I can't believe you have done this. Misa, can't believe you've committed suicide.
Too much emotion.
Oh, sorry.
Misa can't.
I don't know if I can do deadpan Jar Jar. Can anybody do deadpan Jar Jar? I mean, come on. My Jar Jar impression is shit to begin with, so I don't think I can do that.
So you're not doing the whole show in a Jar Jar voice?
Oh man, I would love to. Please don't.
I'm gonna get him the mask.
No, don't. Please don't suggest that to me. This is gonna turn into another Christmas episode, and I don't think my reputation online can afford that again. So
we need to feed you liquor. We were both.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not only was Bane annoyed with me, I was annoyed with me the next day. Come on now.
I wasn't annoyed with you.
Well, was it fun at least? I mean, God. That, you know what? Yeah, sure. If you feed me enough liquor, I will do, well, half an episode, one movie in Jar Jar.
Okay.
But, maybe we should do a Christmas special for Star Wars.
Oh
like
my!
Star Wars comes out.
Oh. Do I have to do it in Jar Jar, or does Anon have to feed me?
Here's an idea. Why don't we do a special stream where we watch it and record ourselves watching it and just put it up on BitChute to avoid it?
The three of us as maybe a stream, or just just record it rather.
That would be the most boring stream ever, because Master Non and I don't talk to each other when we're watching movies at all.
We will with this movie. So think about how much you wanted to talk during Double Down and how much we did, and multiply that by 100, That's how much we will banter during the Star Wars Christmas special or any other offshoot.
I think he was talking about watching the new one.
Oh
no! Christmas special.
Christmas special.
Star Wars
Okay.
Christmas special.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't suggest watching the new one together.
That'd be a nightmare. A nightmare.
But, I mean, especially considering I was suggesting doing the show before the new one came out. So
sorry to interrupt, but can I just say I wouldn't suggest watching the new one at all, just to start a wholesome discussion for anybody who may be watching. Which all discussions are wholesome on the internet. I of course am kidding. I am kidding.
Terrible white cis male.
He's a Russian bot incel, so that's why he's boycotting Star Wars.
He's an engaged to a woman incel. Wrap your head around that shit.
A Russian bot incel is the proper term for anyone who's not watching Star Wars.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
All right. So, Titan AE.
Well, there is a third movie that we're discussing, and it's, in my opinion, a piece of pro-rodent propaganda, but we'll get to that eventually.
It totally is. Own rats. Rats are adorable and wonderful.
Yeah, and it may be part of the same universe as what were those two movies from the 70s? Was it Ben and Willard?
Willard was one. Ben. Oh gosh,
I think
the original. Yeah, the original one. And Willard had a remake with Chris Glover, I think, Christopher Glover, which was quite nice. But yeah,
and of course,
I
Michael
think
Jackson had a love song to a rat.
Yeah,
as part of the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the rats don't love people; they love each other.
As I was saying before, though, I do agree with Bane's kind of preemptive pick of the order of the movies, because I love The Land Before Time, which actually is to this day and probably will be forever my favorite movie of all time. I think that the secret
is it wrong that I was cheering for the T-Rex?
Well, yes, it was, and you've now hurt my feelings, and I I think that the Secret of Nim is certainly the deepest of the three, and The Land Before Time has its meaning and this and that, and I love it to death, but I think the Secret of Nim is, I guess
art.
It is. But so is The Land Before Time. But I think the Secret of Nim is Don Bluth's magnum opus, and I don't want to speak for him. I can't do that, but that's what I feel. So,
and it's probably more accessible to adults.
Sure, absolutely. The Land Before Time is very saccharine. It is a Saturday morning cartoon.
It is a kids movie, very much a kids.
It is absolutely. But I have a lot to say about The Land Before Time. I could probably take up 10 minutes with that. But, so yeah, Titan E, which is a fantastic sci-fi film, but certainly the least, and that's not really an insult on it, but it is the lesser of the three films.
Yeah, so. It's still one of his best though. Mm-hmm. I couldn't recommend it enough. If you like,
he's a fantastic animator, fantastic writer. Don Bluth, he left Disney around 80, thereabouts. Mm-hmm. He used to animate for Disney, and his last Disney film was The Fox and the Hound, and he just did a little bit for that. Just a few little things, throwaway scenes or whatever. And long story short, he just kind of grew disheartened with it.
He wanted to do his own thing.
Yeah, and just kind of moved on.
And now his movies get mistaken for Disney all the time.
Well, they do. And, I kind of think that's unfortunate. I think a lot of that has to actually do with 1996 movie, his adaptation of the story of Anastasia.
Mm-hmm. It had a Disney feel, yeah.
It did. It really did, because it had singing and songs. And it was very good. But I think the biggest reason why people get any Don Bluth film when they watch it, they think it's Disney right away, is because of The Land Before Time Part 2.
Yeah, I mean, and he animated for them enough that people associate his animation style with Disney too.
Well, subconsciously too.
Yeah. Because I mean, he also did Thumbelina, which is super Disney-esque princess.
Well, it is. It's very saccharine. It's very saccharine, sweet. So his career has kind of been his first major film was The Secret of NIMH in 1982, and that's an adaptation of a book. From the previous decade, 10 years prior, 1972, called Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of NIMH, which is very similar to the film. It's quite it adheres to the book really strictly for the most part.
And NIMH has a meaning, doesn't it?
It does.
I can't remember what it is though. I remember reading it.
Neurological something or other. I don't think it's important. They
it's the national. It's just the National Institute of Mental Health in the film and in
Oh yeah, yep, that's right.
I thought it was neurological, so probably because of what they were doing, but
well, certainly, yeah.
Anyways, Titan AE is essentially a film about a alien race that decides they are very threatened by humanity, and they blow up Earth. This is pretty much the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
And we spend the film following a group of people and aliens trying to restore. Well, actually, they don't really know what it's going to do for them when they find it.
Well, as a young boy who escapes when the Earth is destroyed, and his father is he a captain? I can't remember. Captain on the ship?
He's a scientist and an inventor, and he helped create Project Titan. I think he was the chief engineer.
Yeah.
So he gives Kale basically the key to finding Project Titan, which a few straggling other people think is going to save humanity. And I think Kale's kind of just become completely disinterested in the human race altogether.
Well, yeah, I mean, he basically saw the Earth blow up. As I'm sure a lot of other people did, but basically they barely escaped. And he witnessed the a certain giant ship leave Earth at the last minute too.
Yes. His father
so you kind of have the hero's journey where the main character is reluctant at the start, but is forced into it.
Sure, sure. It's kind of a like a time-honored tale. You know, it's very simple. It starts simply.
Pretty girl convinces him, that humanity's worth saving.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to Rogue One in that sense, as the main character was, didn't want to get involved, but as the movie went on, she, ended up being the hero.
Yeah.
So similar theme.
Yeah. Oh, what can we say about this movie?
Jerky head animation.
Yes, it has. Yes. I mean, the animation's really good, but it's very...
Some of it's good. Some of it's good. Some of it I found annoying. The jerky head animation that gave me flashbacks to Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, a lot of Dragon's Lair was animated better than Titan AE. I must say. But that's.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's not really a knock against Titan AE. I think it's animated well for the most part.
But the character motion's a bit goofy, I guess.
A little bit. I mean I guess you could chalk some of that up to Don Bluth's style, I suppose. But
his style,
it's definitely the style, not the quality of the animation, but the style of the animation.
Yeah, I suppose.
I find it a little bit annoying.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's important not to get those two very different things mixed up.
It's funny. This actually has an all-star cast. It's got our favorite Matt Damon. And Drew Barrymore. play our main characters.
Was it just me, or was the character Corso obviously a bad guy right from the start?
Oh yeah.
I mean, even the name Corso sounds like Corsair, which is, you know, a name for a pirate. So
I don't think they were trying to hide it.
no.
And of course, we have, you know, the bad guy at the end. There, he has a change of heart at the end.
Yep.
Saves everybody.
So, you know, he does a Han Solo. You know, instead he's just out for himself at the start, and by the end of it, he's he saves everyone.
Yeah, he gives us a heroic self-sacrifice.
Yep.
There's a lot of interesting planets they visit. It's quite stunning. So it's really strange because it goes from really bad to really good, depending on what part of the movie you're in. The
animation is a bit non-consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, the ice field in particular is quite stunning to look at.
Should we go through a bit more of the plot, because I think we've
basically glazed right over the plot. So he escapes from the planet as a young man, and 15 years later, he's on a salvage yard in an asteroid belt, and is tracked down by Corso, who tells him that ring is essentially a map, and Kale wants some kind of reward for helping them, of course.
because he doesn't believe in the whole New Earth bullshit. But
no, he basically thinks that humanity's doomed and just done.
Yeah. Which is perfectly understandable considering what he's been through.
Well, it is. Yeah, he was a young man. He just he wasn't even in his teenage years, basically, when he saw the entire planet literally explode in front of him. I suppose, you know what, it would be hard to not be a bit of a nihilist.
Yeah. Well, then your dad never comes for you, and he sees him leave. He knows he's on that ship that escapes.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I again, spoilers, but I have to give the film credit for them not taking, or Don Bluth not taking the easy way out and having his father be alive the entire time.
Yeah, I'm glad.
You know what?
I'm glad.
That's refreshing, because usually that's the way it works out. And it started with I'm not sure if you two have heard of it. It's a movie called Star Wars.
May have heard of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to it, but
we haven't already talked.
Is it the one with the big black thing on the moon?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and it's that guy's
Star
dad.
Wars 2001 or something.
Yeah, with the big fat ass baby.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you know, I guess some of us might know that movie. It's pretty obscure, but I mean, fuck. But I'm glad they didn't go with that cliche, even though it couldn't be a cliche because that movie sucked.
So there are three other travelers on this ship helping them get to their final destination. Goon, who is the love interest we mentioned, Akima, but Goon, who is my favorite. I just want to hold Goon.
Yeah, just want to hold him and love him.
I do. Preed, who is a sort of she looks like a kangaroo with a bird's beak
and weird legs.
And kangaroo legs. They're
a bit different than kangaroo legs, aren't they? They're
a little longer,
square, I think.
Yeah, they stick out to the side.
Yeah.
And then we've got Stilth, who I don't know how to describe him. He looks like a parrot without feathers.
Yeah, more or less.
But longer limbs. Aliens, interesting aliens. Goon's my favorite. He looks like a turtle without a shell.
Yeah. He does. He really
He's
does.
also adorable.
Yeah, he's definitely the comedy relief throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know what? He's good at it. He doesn't annoy
Well, he
me.
is. You know what? I have nothing against comedy relief for the most part. So,
and he doesn't annoy me. Like a lot of comedy,
as long as it's in the appropriate spot.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, I shouldn't. You know what? Yeah, I shouldn't use that as a be all end all sentence. I suppose
it's not like
comedy relief can and does ruin films. So
like
yeah, if you put it in the wrong spot,
ape.
Yeah.
At the
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that's a different story. But yeah. What was it? The last one, Dawn, Rise, the last Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, the last new Planet of the Apes movie had a comedic relief ape, and he was way overused. He would have been funny, but he needed to go on the back burner for the end of the movie.
Yes.
They needed to put him away, and they didn't.
Yeah.
To bring up that movie that no one's seen again, Star Wars: A New Hope, you'll notice that the comedy relief in that is always after the climax of an action scene.
Yes.
Always. It's brilliantly done.
Yeah, so it builds up the tension, then you have the final bit of that action scene, and then you have the comedy relief to, ease the audience down into the next group of scenes.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It makes for a perfectly done film, and I don't understand why it's not more popular.
Really a shame.
But whatever. Titan AE, which is far more popular than Space Wars can ever be.
Well, you can tell by the 28 sequels to Titan AE.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I should mention it tanked at the box office.
Of course.
Made about half of its budget.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's not a Titan AE universe at the moment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which, I mean, I don't think it deserves that level of terrible. Because it's not a terrible movie. It's just...
Well, you know what? Box office gains don't denote a good or bad movie, regardless of... It really doesn't.
It's underappreciated. I think
it is
underappreciated.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of reasons why good movies bomb at the box office.
Bad advertising is a big one.
Yeah, or limited release, or being released at the same time as a blockbuster. Or
you know what? That's probably the biggest nail in the coffin of a lot of these films. Is the somebody somewhere chooses to release, I don't know, something. I'm not saying this movie was released at the same time as, say, Episode 7, just as an example. But let's say that Snowpiercer was released in 2015 with Episode 7 on like the same weekend. What do you think's going to happen? Snowpiercer is intelligent, intense science fiction. It's amazing. It's a great film, but it already didn't do well at the box office. Can you imagine if they released it to a mainstream audience on the same weekend as Episode 7? It would have been buried. Like, nobody would even know what the fuck Snowpiercer is.
Yeah, what is that?
It wouldn't even have its cult audience.
Is that a documentary?
Is that a sequel to Willy Wonka? I don't know.
That's right. And I might sound like I'm exaggerating, but I don't think it would even be the cult film it is today.
Yeah, it might not.
It would have just been... It just would have been blown away. But
it might eventually be a cult film.
Certainly, yeah, certainly, but not now. It became a cult film right away because that's another thing you mentioned. It was a limited release. Again, that's not always a choice. They kind of take what they can get. They being the producer and the filmmaker and everybody else involved in financing the damn thing.
Sometimes it's straight to Netflix these days.
It is, and I mean they do get well, a lot of them actually Netflix exclusives are very good, and they do get money from views. That's how it works. They get money from licensing and views, and but
all right. So where were we?
Yeah, I've kind of lost my train of thought here.
Kale's ring that his dad gives him when the Earth is blown up by the dredge is a map, and Corso knows how to open said map, obviously, because he was at least close with Kale's father. And spends the next little while manipulating and getting very close to him. As well as Akima, but who's oblivious, as we are. And they go to a planet to have an alien race called the Ghoul, which I think this planet is really cool. It's full of hydrogen trees.
That's the highlight of the movie for me.
Yeah, it's
not only the race that inhabits it, but the everything that follows and just the way it looks. It's great.
It's very cool. It is a planet covered in hydrogen trees, they look like big golden balloons full of gas, and the race of aliens there they look like big bats.
Yeah, and they're awesome.
They are so cool. They don't speak, which is interesting because they obviously communicate via telepathy, which people used to think bats were telepathic, but we know now it's echolocation's got more to do with sound.
Sure, but it's a nice touch. That was a very purposeful reference, by the way. So
yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
and they show Kale that he needs to use the map aligned with stars from that planet to find the final location of the Titan. And whilst they're on this planet, the dredge attack, and it's very cool. The hydrogen trees explode with not much provocation, so there's lots of explosions.
Yeah, the dredge descend on all the heroes, and yeah, it's a really exciting chase scene.
It is.
It's really well done. I think it's the highlight of the movie. The animation throughout the scene, CG and all, is the best in the entire film.
It is. It's super action packed.
Yeah, it's great, and I think it is on par with a lot of really amazing, just car chase scenes in movies or science fiction spaceship chases. It's really well done.
Yeah. So during this big kerfuffle altercation, Akima and Kale are both captured by the dredge, and Corso and gang chase after them using a tracking device on Akima, and the dredge are really quite terrifying. Actually, if you think about them, if they were real.
Well, yeah, they're essentially it's like a race of beings. They're never really explained, but they're made of energy, basically, like almost just electricity.
Yeah.
In living form. If electricity had organs and a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's like it is sentient electricity, basically.
Yeah, and their ships.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. God.
That's why I'm here, for the jokes.
What an electrifying spoiler.
Oh God. You done?
Yep.
Well.
Are you both done? Because I could be shocked some more.
Yes, there's a lot of outlets I could stick forks in. Okay.
Okay, moving on. Yes, sentient electricity. They have no empathy.
None.
Pretty much every alien race fears them, and when they find out that Kale has the map, they say keep the boy, jettison the girl, and they just launch her out into space in a fucking thing. I don't know, what did you call that? A coffin?
Well, yeah, something that keeps her alive in dead space. That's why it's rated PG.
Yeah.
If Don Bluth had gotten a PG-13 rating, which I'm sure he didn't want, and I mean that seriously.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not being sarcastic. They probably just would have launched her out into space as is. But
well, no, I mean it's not like no characters die in this movie. So
they certainly do. It's just...
So Kale sort of figures out how to manipulate his way through their everything, through their walls, into their ships and stuff. I guess by creating a negative space in the energies they use for everything. And he manages to escape. And at this point, Crusoe is rescuing Akima via her tracking device.
Mm-hmm.
And they run into each other and find out that, of course, you know, the bad guy that we didn't know was bad guy is bad guy.
Oh, of course.
It's a big shock, the reveal.
Yes,
Never would have seen it coming.
A name like Corso that sounds like Corsair, I never would have guessed that he was a space pirate.
No, never. No, it was a complete shock. I was just jaw to the floor.
References? What the fuck are you talking about? Homages? No. It's just stupid.
He and Stith are in cahoots with the Dredge. Of course, they're going to give them the Titan in exchange for, I guess, not being killed. But we all know how that works. Mm-hmm. And Akima and Kale overhear this. There's an escape. Akima gets shot. Blah 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 blah. They end up at New Bangkok, which is essentially a floating garbage heap of
China
parts ship parts, escaped ship parts that have all kind of docked together and been turned into, and they kind of float around in space, surviving.
Well, I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. I was just saying it's basically it is a mass of Chinese society in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's the escape. It's a lot of the escapees from China.
Yeah,
and parts of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the point where Kale decides he wants to save humanity. He has bonding moments with children, you know, as you do.
Oh, the teenage girl, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who? I guess her brother. What does he do? Throw a ball at him or something?
Yeah, he hits him with a soccer ball.
Yeah, and his older sister is apologetic, and they have the standard, you know, we're trying our best conversation.
Yeah. He's never seen grass before, but he still wants to play soccer like our dad.
Yeah.
Who I guess was a famous soccer player. She has a collectible card with him on it.
Yeah,
so
which is
never watched the Cheech and Chong movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. which is heartwarming in the Don Bluth way. Not Cheech and Chong. Not Cheech and Chong. That came out at the wrong time.
Don Bluth does love to tug at the heartstrings. He does.
Yeah, he does it very well.
He does. It's very sweet. Everything's all very sweet.
Yeah.
And there's the little society comes together to fix an old ship to get them to the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, we have a montage.
Oh yeah, I have to mention the all the '90s rock music. So many montages in this music.
Yes.
So many montages. Like this movie would make Rocky shit its boxing shorts. It just like.
You want to know something really cool? I'm going to tell you something really cool. Power Man 5000 did a song for this movie.
Sure did.
Yeah, that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, an industrial metal band doing a song for Don. Oh, this is Don Bluth's last directed feature. By the way.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, he ended on his lowest. That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean that's mean, but yeah. I mean, if this is his lowest, he had
no.
A
I mean,
career.
it's not worse than Dragon's Lair.
Oh, Dragon's Lair is fantastic.
It's terrible. What's wrong with you?
Oh. I have the laser disc.
Did anyone ever get anywhere in that game? Seriously?
Yes. It's been beaten before. You're just terrible at it. It's okay.
Maybe not the NES version, but yeah, the Laserdisc version. I actually have the Laserdisc of.
I know you do.
I'm talking about in the arcade. It was always this game that drew people to it.
Yeah, no, I have
Anime.
it was an original it was a Laserdisc game. It was on Laserdisc in the arcade too.
Oh,
There was
no, you're right. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I actually have the disc itself. I have beaten it, but my God, it took a tutorial and it was tough. So
Yeah. There's always this magnet that drew me to it, but you know,
It looks
I got
awesome.
like
it
20
it looks awesome, but
Well,
man,
hilarious.
you stick your 25 cents or 50 cents or whatever it was at the time into it, and you play for a grand total of 15 seconds.
And that
Yeah.
drink kills
Yeah.
the shit out of you.
And there was a space one, which was the sequel to it.
Space Ace, yeah, the year after. Yeah, he animated that too. The animation, regardless of if you think the game was good or bad or shit or whatever, the animation was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Especially for a video game. It was a pre-animated video game where you just press directional buttons to choose. Like it was pretty cool at the time. You got to admit it was a gimmick, but man, did it ever look nice.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Despite the jerky style of the characters.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about when you say.
Once again, that wasn't a fault with the animation. That was just the style of the animation. But yeah, it definitely drew everyone to it just because the quality of the picture, as opposed to what we had at the time, which was
Robotron and
pixels.
Yeah. Yeah, like
you're just so mad at how much money you wasted at the arcade on that, aren't you?
You know what?
Well,
I wasted a lot of money on that too.
That.
Yeah, just a lot of money.
Just a lot of money, not a lot of time. So
I didn't see one of those machines. It was vintage at the time when I saw it, but I was, oh gosh, like 11.
Aging him, God.
Huh? No, that's not what I mean. Come on now.
You bully, you horrible bully.
No.
No.
I just remember playing it as a kid too, and I can't for the life of me imagine why people loved it at the time, but I think they just loved the way it looked. But as a game, it's pretty shitty.
It was funny. I could imagine just it was the modern day trolling. Hey, go play that game. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's the best looking game, but the controls are shitty.
And good job.
Yeah, and you'll waste countless dollars, quarters,
trying to figure it out.
Days of your youth trying to figure it out. Yep.
Hours upon hours in the arcade.
And there wasn't the internet at the time where you could, look up a forum to tell you how to play it or something, You
had to subscribe to some obscure magazine or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it would tell you.
Dragon's Lair Monthly or something.
Well.
All right, so Kale and Akima, they've got their old clunky ship. They make it to one of the coolest areas, I think, in this movie, other than the hydrogen tree planet, the ice fields. It just looks awesome. And of course, Corso finds them in deep space because why wouldn't you? He had them. He also had the map, but they couldn't find the ship in amongst the ice field. It's because their radar picks up all of the ice, obviously.
Well, it's moving. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can't distinguish where the ship is, and they try to follow them. They have a little chase scene. It's very cool in the ice field. And of course they get in first, Akima and Kale, and they get up. He gets this nice little message from his dad, which is sweet and heartwarming and doesn't make me cry.
Via the ring or something, right?
Yeah, via the ring.
Yeah.
And basically his father tells him that they have to re-energize the ship, otherwise it can't do what it's going to do, which we find out now is creating a new planet. And it just makes so much logical sense why they hid it in an ice field too, because if it's going to make another planet like Earth, it needs a lot of water, and what better place to find it than a big ass ice field out in the middle of space.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that water ice. Super. Oh, we have our climax. And I'm sure you remember we told you that the dredge are made out of pure energy, so I think you can see where this is going.
Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, they sort of sucked them inside the ship to energize it.
A little bit, yeah.
So wait a minute. Does this mean the Scientologists are right? There really are alien souls trapped on the planet?
It's a Thetan movie.
Making us depressed? Oh, no. The Scientologists were right all along.
They're secretly putting their Scientology in movies.
Before the religion even existed.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it, right?
Oh, man.
What do you mean before the religion existed?
Wasn't it before? How long has Scientology been around? It hasn't been around very long, has it?
60s, 70s, something like that.
Oh, so it's close.
This movie came out in 2000, though, didn't it?
Did it? Oh, shit. So why? Oh, damn. Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, so, Scientology had only been around 40 or 30 years, so,
This is just a recruiting. It's a recruitment.
Yep.
Everything else.
It is. The interesting thing about this movie is, it's PG and for children, yet it's probably got one of the highest body counts in movie history.
Well, I would say so.
You think so? Oh, well, I guess technically, since they blow up the entire planet, and I would say most of the human population doesn't escape. So,
well, it is set in the future too, so we can guess that the population of the Earth would be even higher.
It's set in approximately the year 3000, so
yeah,
so it could be 10 billion. Who knows?
3028.
20 billion. Hey,
3028. The year 3028.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it could be 20 billion for all we know by then, right? So, yeah.
Plus the aliens sucked into the thing at the end and their energy use. So
Oh, I skimmed.
It's another genocide. So
I skimmed over Goon's fake out death, which totally doesn't make me cry.
Yeah.
Even though I know he's not really dead, it still makes me cry. It's a little sad.
Well, it's the standard I'm going to give my life to save my crew members kind of death.
No, he's only trying to save Preed.
Yeah. Crew member.
Yeah. And he goes, I'm going to take a nap now, and appears to die, and it's really, really sad.
So are you going to start a Kickstarter for a Goon series of movies?
Yes, I need all Goon all the time.
The Gooniverse?
Could you imagine? I should mention that this character spends a lot of this movie tinkering with something he invented whilst he was asleep. He doesn't know what it does, but he used highly unstable materials.
Okay, now this might be a little obscure, but well,
we're gonna talk about Star Wars again.
No, we're not.
Pineapple on
pizza? When Bane, when you said the Gooniverse, okay, so we have Titan AE. Picture this, you'll get this. You have Titan AE, which is Perfect Dark, and then you have the Gooniverse, which is the Chronicles of Riddick and following. So you have the relatively serious, well-made film followed by several cartoony films based around.
I actually watched Riddick last night. I think it's a great movie.
I like the Riddick films in general. I think they're absolutely ridiculous science fiction movies, and they're awesome.
Oh yeah, but they're a lot of fun. And like I said, I watched the third one last night, coincidentally, and I think it's the best of the three. Although I think
even out of Perfect Dark, or are you counting Perfect Dark?
Perfect Dark, is that the
that is technically the first one, just not in the timeline.
What's that? That's the is that the animated short? Is
it? No.
Oh, so you've confused me. There's 3 Riddick movies, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and well, there's 4, and one of them is called Perfect Dark. I seem to have, our host.
I am furiously typing. What is this?
Oh no, I have the title wrong. That's my bad. Sorry.
Oh,
Pitch Black. I do this all the
Oh,
fucking
Pitch Black. Well,
the first time I watched Pitch Black. No.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about this. The first time I watched Pitch Black.
Why haven't I heard of this?
Okay, the funny story. The first time I watched Pitch Black, I was stoned out of my gourd. I had just moved out of my parents' house.
Yep.
And I rented this movie like a couple months later, and I smoked a lot of weed at that time, right? So I'm watching this movie, and I'm going, oh man, this is awesome. This movie's perfect. And then I got that mixed up with the fucking video game title.
Okay.
Which, man,
I do love Pitch Black.
Yeah,
and I love the second one too.
Yeah.
But I do like the third. I think the third
one is good. I've only seen that once or twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Pitch Black a lot. But yeah, the Riddick movies are great. But I'm just imagining that right now. That's kind of the equivalent.
The universe.
Pitch Black is like the serious Titan AE version of that, and then you have the action-packed sequels, which I think is what
the second one kind of went off the rails a bit with the whole was it the Underverse and
the
cult? Like they changed things up a lot, which it still worked though. It still worked.
It did. Yeah, I like them a lot.
The Gooniverse would be action packed. Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Just imagine him in a wife beater or something.
He would just spend
just doing his shit. Oh yeah.
All his time trying to figure out what things that he invented while he was asleep.
Yeah, but he would do it while breaking motherfuckers' necks. Don't ruin this for me.
Goon, come on.
007.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Goon's too cuddly for this.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. Both of you have ruined this for me now. I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
Corso does the whole "I'm going to save humanity" thing at the end too. By the way, he realized
he turns around again and does the double fake out.
Yeah, because of course you do. And Kale, being the chuckly, funny young man he is, names
and named after cabbage.
Yes, he names the planet Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Which I would actually be really happy with. Can we change the name of the planet to Bob?
We could, but Bob is middle-aged and balding.
Yeah, it sounds like Earth.
That sounds like Earth, yeah. Well, no, Bob is elderly and balding and goes a lot. So.
Yeah, it sounds like Earth.
Yeah.
It's used up and dusty now. Oh, what else do we say about this movie? Do we all recommend it?
I would. I wish it wasn't his last movie.
Yeah,
that he directed.
Why was it his last? Has he died? I don't know a lot about him.
No, he's still alive. He's 81 or 82 right now, but
he might have one more in him.
I don't think so. I mean,
I don't think so either.
19 and a half years since Titan AE.
Yeah.
I mean, he's excuse me. He educates mostly now.
Yeah.
Like via video tutorials. He may show up at a couple of seminars here and there.
Scientology?
Yeah, certainly. Titan AEology.
If he's a Scientologist, because that would be hilarious.
It would be. I couldn't answer that question. I mean, I'm sure I could find out with very simple Google searches. But...
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, of course you are.
No, he is not a Scientologist.
So no Thetan AE then. So.
No. Oh, upset. All right, so shall we move on to the?
Well, speaking of Scientology and Titan AE, I've got to say it's no Battlefield Earth. So.
Well, you need.
But what is?
Well, what is? I mean, John Revolting. I'm sorry. Have I said his name wrong?
It was a great comedy.
It was the hair. Oh.
Yeah. And the boots and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the dialogue and Travolta's overacting. It was great.
Have either of you ever sat through Grease? Because I fucking can't.
I've sat in Grease.
I was just about to say, sat through Grease or sat in Grease?
You fucking people! You're both fired! I'm just gonna change the title of this episode to "Dad Jokes That Make Me Want to Die."
No, I've never seen Grease, so there you go.
Stop yelling at me!
What?
I guess the mic didn't pick that up. He's yelling at me from across the house. Oh God. So yes, new planet named Bob. It's great.
Yep.
And it looks awful. I think that's one of the worst examples of CG in this fucking movie is when it pans out to show us Bob. It's awful. Gives me oh God, it was on YTV, animated abomination of a show.
So was the planet named after a character from Twin Peaks? Is that what you're saying?
I would hope, maybe, but it looked like an abortion. Master Anon would know the animated abortion I'm talking about that was on YTV.
I would know what men's hair soaked in Brill cream. Sitting in grease.
Yeah. No. The animated abortion that you used to like to watch, it was on YTV.
Oh, Reboot.
Yes, Reboot. That's
what do you mean?
It reminds me of.
Used to.
Oh, what, do you still like Reboot?
I do. Used to is such an interesting term.
There's still time for me to get out before I marry you, right?
Well, I mean, I can always just reboot, so whatever.
Is that a Reboot? Was that a 90s animated kids show?
Yes, it's an abortion. It is an abortion of a show. It's awful. I just grew a neck beard. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. No, it looks like shit, and I love it.
It looks like shit.
I like Beast Wars, which is that 90s Transformers animated.
Beast Wars. I like
Beast Wars. Like shit.
It does. I love Beast Wars, but it looks like shit. It looks awful.
It does not look.
It looked pretty good at the time.
Well, when you're between anywhere between 10 and wherever, it looks okay. If you haven't seen it, think about how it looked in the mid 90s. You could be 90 in the mid 90s, and CG would have looked amazing at the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I saw it in the 90s, I thought that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cutting edge for animation or 3D animation back then.
It really was.
Gave me nightmares.
Which was really poorly animated. Donkey Kong Country or whatever? Yeah.
No, the dog.
Oh, the dog.
The dog in Reboot.
Oh, yeah.
Donkey Kong Country looked great. I'll fight you.
Same animators, pretty much.
Yeah, but they were better. Reboot was their practice show.
Do you remember a live-action TV show called Captain Power?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I used to rent the VHS tapes of that when I was a kid, yeah.
It was awful. Awful.
Oh, man, it was terribly acted. The special effects were awful, and I loved it.
Yeah, same here. And I remember watching it the first time it was on air, and there was one episode to go, the final episode, and then the Iraq War broke out, and they never played it. So.
Yeah. I actually have the first VHS of that, like the first episode, and that's the same one I rented. That same video store closed down, and a little bit later on in my childhood, and I bought it
because I had nothing but Captain Power videos.
That's it. Nobody would buy them, so I was like, you know what? I feel bad for you, Mom. Can I please have the whatever it was? I'm gonna make sure your kids eat tonight by buying this. Hideous Captain Power video. I still have it. I don't think it works anymore. I think it's been eaten, but
that's because you watched it too much, right?
Well, yeah, because it was awful and awesome at the same time.
You both just enjoy watching stuff that's terrible.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that's our next show in 2 weeks.
Oh God, I don't know why I agreed to this.
Yeah, the contest
is that the worst movies ever? Is that?
Yeah, the Greenies.
Oh
we'll
yeah.
By the way, I would like
the gold raspberry is even just worse.
I would like to do a special episode for Neil Breen because I want to see if we can get him to take down all of his movies from his website. I just want to force myself to watch the rest of his catalog and rip on them for a few hours and see.
Do that. Nothing but Breen from now on.
Breen. I will get drunk and I will do it, if only to see if he'll take them off his website.
Well, we could do a live watching of Neil Breen, maybe.
That would be fun.
Just for BitChute.
I can't believe you have done this.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Can't believe you committed suicide.
I can't believe you've uploaded this.
The only question is, which masterpiece would we watch?
I can't believe you uploaded this.
Yeah.
I can't believe you made fun of me.
Which one should we watch? That's a good question.
How many are there?
Too many.
Is there really? How many movies has he made?
Too many.
Wait, I'm gonna find out.
I think it's like 5, maybe.
We could do the 7. Other 4.
What, in one go?
He's done 5. We can do the other 4. Yeah, let's do them all one go. Oh man, he made one last year.
Why?
Neil, told you to stop. He made another one last year.
Yeah, that was Twisted Pair, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Neil, we've been over this. I told you, you're not allowed to use the camera ever again. Actually, that's the only one that doesn't have his face on the poster.
Well, in Twisted Pair, he plays twin brothers.
He used the same image on Double Down as he did on his second film, which is I Am Here Now. Even the title for his movie sounds awful. It sounds like it has no emotion. I am here now.
And that's how he delivers the line too.
There's 3. There's an act. What do you call 3 periods in a row? There's a word for it, but I can't remember. But it's there.
Oh, you should see a doctor about that.
I am here now. You know, us women, we have many periods in a row. They go on for about 50 years. By the way. He's got a movie called Fateful Findings, and it looks like a porno.
Oh, Fateful Findings, yeah. Yeah. That looks like it belongs on Pornhub.
He does like his sex scenes, you know, so.
Wait, what? There was none of that shit in Double Down. Does he start doing that?
Yes, there was in the pool.
No sex. Just his flaccid little dink floating around.
Well, what you don't seem to realize is that his sad face when he embraces the dead woman is actually his O face.
Oh, so he fucks her corpse in there? With his shrinky dink?
Well, I mean, we all have our fetishes, and I would thank you not to shame them.
Okay, so he's a necrophiliac that doesn't actually get hard and just rubs his flaccid penis on the corpse.
Yeah.
Well, you know, dead girls don't say no, so.
I guess she was still warm, maybe.
Dead girls don't say, "Is that a camera?"
Well, she was a good actress.
Dead girls do not say, "That's not all the medals, you fucking liar."
I've won all of the medals. Yes, I would like to do this to myself because it's like a Band-Aid. You just rip it off all at once. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing the other 4.
Well, if you're into ripping a Band-Aid off for 8.5 hours.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't have to watch them all in one day, but...
You just said watch them all in one go. That's...
I meant for one show.
Oh.
I could do it.
Oh, because I think we should do at least one of them live and post it on BitChute. I think that'd be fun.
That could be fun.
We could actually just watch it so that the three of us could hear it and the audience can't, and they could just listen to us react. Although I think if I put the audio for the movie up and not the actual picture too, with us talking about it, it'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Was he going to copyright strike us for talking over his audio?
Probably.
Bring it on, Neil. I'll fight you. It's fair use, bitch.
I mean,
I think the first time I heard of Neil Breen, he had copyright strike someone on YouTube for reviewing one of his movies and using some of the footage. So
he's one of those.
Quite sensitive. So
Neil. Yeah. Is that why you took that movie down? Because you couldn't copyright strike our video?
Oh, it's off the BitChute.
Oh, yep. Shit shoot.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Titan AE. It's okay.
Oh
no, we lost.
And then there were two.
We lost Big Master and that's sad because this is his movie. Oh, he'll figure it out. I think his laptop just died.
When he comes back, we'll say, well, we covered it. And we're on to the third movie now. You missed out.
Oh, God. He'll be heartbroken. So, The Land Before Time. This movie taught me and so many children about death, I think.
Yeah, it was a really sad movie because the T-Rex never got to have lunch.
And he fucking dies, and it's glorious.
Yeah.
It's good.
No.
Yeah, fuck that T-Rex. Fuck that T-Rex. You're back.
That T-Rex. Yeah. Speaking of your back.
That T-Rex is a bitch.
It's not that hairy, but anyway.
Is it not?
Well, I mean, he only had half his lunch.
Oh, I just realized that maybe it went because he fell in the gorge, so he couldn't go back for the corpse. Okay.
He ate Littlefoot's back. Littlefoot's mom's back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He gets a bite. Oh my god, this is terrible. I can't. Anyways, this movie, yeah, you're probably right, is one of those movies that is why everybody thinks everything Don Bluth ever made was a Disney film, because they're still making Land Before Time sequels and series and shit now.
The Land Before Time universe is what you're saying.
In the current year. So, The Land Before Time is essentially a catch-all for life lessons. You're going to learn about death. You're going to learn about segregation. You're going to learn about bullying. You're going to learn about your mom dying. Your mom dying.
In France, it was called La Place Without Clocks.
Fuck are you talking about?
The Land Before Time. La Place Without Clocks. That was the French title. So
right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's gone again. That joke was so offensive to him that
I wouldn't be shocked. This is his favorite movie of all time ever.
He's having mic problems, so hold on.
Yeah. You guys aren't friends anymore.
No.
He's left. He probably has to restart. So we can glaze over some plot while he's gone.
So yeah, an animated movie about dinosaurs, which I think I would have absolutely loved if it had come out in the 70s when I was a little kid and was right into dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
I went through a period when I was about 5. I went through a whole dinosaur period. So
was this the first time you'd ever seen it?
Yes.
How was it as an adult experience it for the first time?
Oh, it was okay. The animation was pretty good. I preferred the adult dinosaurs as opposed to the cutesy young dinosaurs, which is obviously made to appeal to kids. But I thought the animation for the adult dinosaurs was a lot more appealing to to me as an adult.
Yeah. Which must have been shit that the entire movie followed the cutesy little kid dinosaurs.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, I can understand it. It's made for kids, and it was, it would be appealing to kids. I can understand that.
Don't have the nostalgia glasses for it.
No, and like I said, if it had came out in the 70s when I was 5, I think I would have, absolutely loved it.
Talk again, Master Non?
Can you two hear me?
You're roboting and echoing pretty bad.
I have to restart.
Yeah, go for it.
He's in the land before time.
He went back in time, clearly. Here, I'm just gonna do that for him. So basically we open with Littlefoot, who is born. We get to see his birth. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Can we hear you now? Master Non. Maybe I'll just leave him there and see if he figures it out.
And then on to the third movie. Any last comments on the Land Before Time, Master or Non?
I love it. I love it so much.
No, okay. On to the third movie then.
All right, so The Secrets of Nim. Oh, there he goes. Press F for Master Non. Fuck.
So yeah, anyway, The Land Before Time follows a group of baby dinosaurs, all of different species that band together to survive after they're separated from their parents.
And Ducky is the best.
While being hunted by a T-Rex, which I think is misrepresented, misunderstood.
Only sort of. The T-Rex is gone for quite a while. They only see him twice after the incident.
where he bit the mother.
Oh my god, it's so terrible.
Yeah, it could have been her fault. She might have owed him money or something. You don't know.
It's so hard to watch. Even as an adult, it still makes me weep like a child. But
I gotta say, this movie is very inaccurate. I mean, none of the dinosaurs had feathers, so
fucking Jurassic Park and its myths.
Not just that. I mean, it's the common interpretation of dinosaurs these days is feathered.
Yeah, well, they were feathered. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we got them. You got you got it? Oh, try again.
What? You what, mate?
Oh, there you go.
No, we still can't hear you.
Oh, you be nice. Go sit in your corner. Okay, so we've gotten past Littlefoot's birth, and we're just right up to his introduction to Sarah, who's a cunt.
She's a bit of a cunt, yeah.
Oh my god! In most of the movie, she's a cunt.
You know what?
Is that the species of dinosaurs?
Yes, the cunt with the
dinosaur.
You know, it has to be said that despite what Littlefoot went through, he's an unlikable jerk sometimes.
He is too, yeah. Like any kid.
Yeah.
They're all written really very much like real children.
I should warn everybody, including you two, that I'm going to be a massive dork because this is actually my favorite movie of all time.
I know it is.
Dork out to this fucking movie. And
I know.
Like this movie, it's saccharine sweet. It's really no more than a slightly deeper Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just say that, and I guess you can come down on it. It just like, or come down off of it. Sorry, just like any other drug. Whether it's alcohol or cocaine or freaking heroin. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's one of those things where this movie puts me in my happy place.
Oh, yeah.
More than any other movie could.
If your happy place includes dead mothers.
Well, I mean, that's why we get sequels to movies, 30 years later, and they're still selling action figures to 40-year-olds, So
is a hell of a drug, and as saccharine sweet as this movie is, It's really well made. I just want to say that right off the bat.
This movie holds up. If you have kids, they will love it.
It does hold up, and I heard Miss Anon say that like this movie taught me about death.
Yeah, I think it taught a lot of kids about death.
I remember I saw this movie. Oh, sorry, go on.
It's more personable than Bambi was. Everybody wants to give Disney the crown for killing off a parent.
Yeah.
But no. You have no idea about death in an animated kids movie until you watch this. If you haven't seen it.
So serious question: was the Grim Reaper in prehistory a dinosaur? Or
yeah, it was a T-Rex.
That's right. T-Rex. Goddamn T-Rex. That goddamn fucking T-Rex that killed Littlefoot's mom. God damn it.
We're witnessing a little bit of childhood trauma here.
A little bit. No, I do want to talk about this a little bit.
Oh yes, of course.
The movie did teach me about death. The first time I saw this movie, the very first time I remember watching it with my mom. The first time my dad brought the VHS tape home after work one day, and I saw it in a VA, I think it was a grocery store aisle. That's when they still sold like VHS tapes in grocery stores and shit, right? They weren't new, but they were still kind of an odd thing that most people didn't have, or they still rented them. But anyway, we bought it, and I remember the first time I watched it, and it ended, and I looked at my mom. Maybe it might have been right after or a couple hours after, and I said, "Mom, are you gonna die? Like, are you the?" And she didn't skip a beat. I remember this like it was yesterday, and she said, "Yeah, one day, but like, yeah, I'm gonna die one day, but not for a long time.
Hopefully, not by T-Rex."
You know, and she said, like, you're gonna die one day too. It didn't skip a beat, but it was very kind, like a mom should be, right? But she didn't skip a beat about it, and I guess the movie kind of maybe helped her do that. But I guess we're not quite there yet in the story, right?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
We're at Sarah and Littlefoot's.
We're really close, so we've just gone
really close.
The whole thing with the Great Migration and.
Yeah, so the movie takes place when the continental shift happens. Giant earthquakes, climate's changing.
Yeah.
There's no vegetation where they are. They have to migrate to the Great Valley.
Mm-hmm. It focuses on herbivores at the time. So
yes, because carnivores are evil.
Well, yeah, I mean it does have that kind of.
Carnivores are evil.
Yeah.
So. Sarah and Littlefoot run into each other at the beginning of the movie, and they're having a little like sort of head buddy standoff, and Sarah's dad comes barging in and tells his little daughter that they, three horns don't play with long necks. There's a lot of the don't be racist kids.
Well, yeah. But it works though.
It does. It doesn't feel.
It worked in 1988, and it works now. It's not. It doesn't. I mean, it's obviously it's very. It hits you on the head with it, but
yeah, it's don't be judgmental in the best way.
Yeah. And
so they separate, and Littlefoot has a conversation with his mom. Oh, how come I can't play with her? And she says, "Well, we all just keep to our own kind. It's just kind of the way it's always been.
It's because we're different."
Yeah. Because we're different.
Yeah.
And so they're traveling to the Great Valley. Now we're getting there. And and Littlefoot gets woken up in the middle of the night by a hopper.
Yeah. It's a big giant bullfrog.
It's a big giant bullfrog. So he chases it, of course he does, and runs into Sarah. They're having fun playing with the frog, and then all of a sudden T-Rex. And they go run screaming into some brambles, because that would be a smart place to go, except T-Rexes, I don't think, give too much of a shit.
And he's also not your standard Saturday morning cartoon villain either. He doesn't speak.
No. No, just snarls and growls and evil.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially.
Carnivorous automaton.
Yeah.
And they're running and screaming, and Littlefoot's mom comes to save the day, and they have fisticuffs without fists.
Yeah.
She gives him a couple good baps with her tail, but he manages to get on her back. Now we see this in silhouette, but I don't think Disney has ever shown a death like this, even off screen as much.
Yeah, basically, the T-Rex jumps on Littlefoot's mother's back and basically bites a giant chunk out of her back, just above her spine.
Yeah.
It's only in silhouette, and I have to mention, I always mention the music in films, but the music in this movie is fucking amazing.
It is.
Soundtrack stands out.
It does.
By James Horner. He's done. Oh my goodness! Like he did another Don Bluth movie. Well, I guess he didn't do this. He didn't do An American Tail, but he did do the one just before that. I can't even remember what it's called now.
An American Tail. Before that?
Yeah, the not this. An American Tail is the sequel, but.
No, An American Tail is the original. Five Will Go West is what you're
sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, he did like An American Tail, and
yeah, Five Will Goes West is the sequel. It is not Don Bluth. I don't know who did the sequel.
No.
Was it Disney?
It wasn't him. No.
Is it Disney?
No, but
maybe. Who knows?
James Horner. He's done like amazing film scores for Willow and Cocoon and Field of Dreams and like you name it. He's done it for Five Will Goes West as well. Braveheart, which love or hate the movie, the soundtrack is fantastic. Apollo 13, another great soundtrack. Jumanji, Titanic, for fuck's sake. Like,
oh my god, he's responsible for Celine Dion.
Well, no, she wrote that song. I mean the orchestral stuff, right?
I know,
I'm just thinking of other soundtracks of his that I've heard. A Beautiful Mind.
Oh my god, A Beautiful Mind has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, like he's just a fantastic, or was, unfortunately. He's dead now. But he was a fantastic
T-Rex? Did he get eaten by a T-Rex?
He did, yeah. Yeah.
So this is the point in the movie where everybody's weeping on themselves because Littlefoot and his mother actually have a good 5-minute long conversation while she's dying.
Yeah.
While she explains to him how come she can't go with him to the Great Valley, but that she'll still be with him, even though he can't see her.
Yeah. And
it's hard to watch.
It's hard to listen to. The script writing, the actual story, like the script itself, is incredible in this one instance. If you don't take much from the movie, the interaction between Littlefoot and his mother in this one scene
makes the whole movie worth watching, even as an adult.
It really does. It's just one simple, when she says, "I'll be with you, even if you can't see me."
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that it transcends time, and a 4-year-old can understand it.
Yeah.
20-year-old understands it. A 60-year-old, a 95-year-old on his deathbed will understand it. It doesn't
cry now.
It doesn't matter if you're agnostic or atheist or you're Catholic or a Scientologist or whatever. It doesn't matter. It transcends that.
Yeah. There's no meaning to it outside of very basic, I'll just be with you, whether it's in your memory or whatever you believe in.
Yes.
Okay, moving on before I start crying on myself.
Yeah, to me, it's probably the most powerful death scene in any film I've ever seen.
Certainly up there.
To this day, to me, it really is.
I think it hits as hard as it does because it's a mother and her very, very young child.
Well, it is, and the way the scene is animated is it's barely animated at all. You'll notice that there's no camera movement. There are no close-up of a face. It's a silhouette slowly dissolving in, like slowly moving in, and there's no animation really to speak of. It's you just hear the rain and this absolutely lovely exchange between these two characters. And it's just, yeah, I can't say enough good about it. It's such a powerful scene.
It is.
And it just, if you only take one, like the rest of the film is very saccharine sweet, but this one scene it just stands out as this, like, it's more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
hits you in the feels.
It really does.
All of the feels.
Because, and she doesn't die with any bravado either. She just stops talking.
No. She just.
Yeah, it's just that's it, and and the scene directly after too, when when Littlefoot is just in the beginning stages of mourning, and he runs into that old. I can't remember.
That was a nice old dinosaur.
That scene as well, which I consider part of the same scene. Littlefoot is, he's obviously scared and alone, and he kind of tumbles down this hill and runs into this old. I can't remember what kind of dinosaur he is, but it's just an old, cantankerous old man, basically. Yeah. He runs into him, and this old man's like, "What's going on here?" Like, he was sleeping, right?
His name is Rooter.
Rooter, that's right, old Rooter. And he, and as soon as he sees Littlefoot's face, his whole demeanor changes.
He understands.
Yeah,
it's an understanding.
Because there was just this giant earthquake.
And Littlefoot says she should have known better.
Yeah.
My mother should have known better. And he goes, I understand.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, your mother's dead. I get it. And it's an overwhelming scene, that whole thing. And that alone makes it my favorite movie. And I guess it's because I watched it so young.
I think when I'm watching this, I hold it together right up until that interaction with Rooter, and then I'm just done. I'm crying all over myself, crying.
and the rest of the movie, though really very, very compelling, it doesn't hit that same level.
No, it's just a coming together, kids coming together, overcoming and traveling to the Great Valley.
Yeah.
We run into the T-Rex a couple more times. They kill him, which is good.
Yeah, it's really just about
different T-Rex.
Yeah.
Fuck the T-Rex, man.
Yeah.
Kill Littlefoot's mother.
I think the beginning of just the T-Rex fight with Littlefoot's mother, her death, and Rooter's scene after could just be a short film in and of itself.
It could. And it would have been.
Yeah, and that's not to discount the rest of the movie. I love the rest of the movie too. I think,
and it's adorable. The rest of the movie's really fun.
Yeah,
they have hardships, but it's really fun. It turns it more into a fun kids movie after that. I think
it really does. But I can't say enough good about that. I guess we shouldn't talk about that the entire time, but there isn't much more to the film than that.
Oh yeah, the characters are really cutesy. Ducky's obviously my favorite, but that's because she's everybody's favorite.
Yeah, well, she's really cute. All the characters are fun. They're all irritating in their own way.
Sarah.
Like I said, Littlefoot is a dick sometimes.
Yeah. No, Ducky is the only one who has no flaws.
That's right.
She's just cute and adorable and super helpful, and she's just a nice little girl.
Pretty much.
Petrie, I actually want to kill halfway through the movie. I'm like, hey, can we kill that one?
Petrie's just a pussy.
Petrie is annoying.
Anyway,
Bane must have been wanting to kill himself after 5 minutes of Petrie.
Talk about what little plot there is left, or
yeah, we can. Yeah, for sure. Basically, they travel to the Great Valley together. They have an interaction with the Sharp Tooth early on because Sarah sees it in the a big valley that splits open when she's trying to get back to her parents,
which they call the Big Underground.
Yes.
And she's extremely cocky, so she
lies, so they don't believe her.
No, she assumes that either Sharktooth, which is the T-Rex, that he's dead, or that he's just knocked unconscious. So she proceeds to bash her Triceratops head against him
a few times until he wakes up.
And then her whole demeanor changes and runs away like
a child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she is just a kid, right?
Yeah.
So,
and she actually, that's when she runs into them.
Yeah. Then she runs into, I guess, Littlefoot just after meets Ducky, and I think Petrie just after that, or Spike. Yeah.
No, Spike comes after everybody else.
Everybody else. That's right. Yeah.
Actually, I should rephrase. Spike is the only one with no flaws.
Yeah. Well, Spike just wants to eat and sleep. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Spike is our all of our spirit animal.
Yes.
But anyways, Sarah tells them that the T-Rex is alive. Nobody believes her. They travel for a while. This is when they find Spike, who's late because he's sleeping inside of his egg still.
Yeah, he's fully developed. He's just lazy. He just
doesn't want to come out.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he finally gets too big. So.
And he must be hungry. So he hatches and immediately eats everything surrounding him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and
I can't remember what kind of dinosaur he is. I knew all this when I was a kid. Yeah, like Littlefoot. He's not a brontosaur. He's some kind of Allosaurus, I think.
Oh, you know the actual terms.
I did, yeah, but I don't anymore. Not an Allosaurus. Oh man, that's gonna bug me now. But anyway, I used to know all this shit. Again, as per my usual, I'm not prepared for this at all.
Actually, I quite enjoy the scene where they all end up snuggling and sleeping together. It's very sweet.
That's another standout scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah thinks it's very independent.
They first they come across something that they think is the Great Valley.
Nobody thinks it's the Great Valley, but Sarah.
Yeah, well, I guess they all want to, but Sarah does. She thinks she found it, and it's really just a clearing with a bunch of leaf trees in the middle.
Yeah.
It's
not many. It's like a tiny little clump of trees.
Yeah, so a bunch of herbivores come rushing through and almost crush them and eat almost all of them right down to the branches. So they go down, the whole group, to see if there's anything left. And they see a giant clump of green food, as they call it, up in just one of the last vestiges.
Watching them try to get it is quite entertaining.
Yeah, so they all work together to try to get all these
except
leaves.
Sarah, because she's a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. She just thinks, oh, I can get my own, and Littlefoot helps her basically gives her food.
Not to her knowledge, though, because he doesn't want to hurt her pride.
No, and so basically, Sarah, for the half of the evening, basically becomes the alpha of the group.
Yeah.
For a little while, and then
Ducky is annoyed by all the snoring, and she wanders over to snuggle with Littlefoot.
Yeah, and then they all come one by one.
They all come one by one.
Yeah, and then Sarah wakes up and is freezing. She wakes up and is completely startled that nobody's with her anymore, and begrudgingly walks over to Littlefoot's group, and of course they welcome her with open arms, which is very
sweet. A puddle.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
It is, and then that's where shit hits the fan again, because when they wake up in the morning,
they are attacked by the Sharktooth.
Yeah.
Here comes the T-Rex.
They're attacked by
favorite character.
The hero of this story.
Oh fuck. No. I will not accept that. They escape, And, you know, Sarah's all stubborn about it because she was right and everybody else was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Littlefoot says he's sorry right away.
Yes.
Because he's a decent person, I guess you could say, unlike Sarah, who's a little...
Oh, she's a bitch, yeah.
And I hated her when I was a kid. I remember 5-year-old me.
I hate her now. She's the worst. You know, even in the sequels, I gotta say this for the sequels, they kept the character traits right down.
Yeah.
They didn't change them at all.
I guess so. You know what? I wanted to give the second one a chance in 1994, and then all them bitches started, then they all started singing, and I actually turned it off. I think I was 11. I turned it off.
Yeah, it's Disney. It's a musical. It's very Disney.
The second they started singing, I actually got upset at it.
So how many sequels have there been?
Oh my god, endless. They're still doing them.
So they up to like teenage dinosaurs now?
No,
Are they in high school?
Just having misadventures.
Yeah.
In high school with acne?
No, they don't age.
No.
They don't age?
They don't age.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
They like The Simpsons.
Yeah, well, they're The Simpsons, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly cannot stand the sequels. Like I said, I was really young when I saw the second one for the first time, and I actually rage quit.
I watched a lot of them because they were one of the few things I was allowed to watch as a kid.
I was really enjoying it, and then they all broke into song, and I just...
The second one isn't terrible.
You were allowed to watch movies about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Aren't they the work of Satan or something, though?
No.
Didn't he put the dinosaur bones there just to fool us?
No, they existed with people, and scientists are wrong. Evolution is wrong, and yeah.
So
they're on Noah's Ark. Is that it?
Yeah, just get your crazy shit correct. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Crazy religious shit. Yeah. There's some demographics of Christianity that believe that dinosaur bones are Satan planted.
Yeah, some believe Satan put them there to test people's faith, and other people believe that God put them there to test people's faith, and
that is not
believe that they existed with humans and were on Noah's Ark.
Yeah, that's not quite Jehovah's Witness levels of crazy.
I think they're all valid theories.
Super valid.
Littlefoot's mom would be stirring in her grave right now.
Well, she is. She's in a fucking museum.
Well, I mean,
don't worry. She was cloned and came back in Jurassic Park. So.
Oh, okay. So she's still alive on an island somewhere. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is she the one that sneezed in that girl's face? There you go.
That's the one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so dinosaurs and humans did exist together.
Yeah. In 1993 at the box office.
Take that, atheists.
Yeah. I give you Jurassic Park. Checkmate.
Yeah.
It's a fucking documentary, asshole.
Oh, man.
All right, so Sarah and Littlefoot have a big fight because Littlefoot keeps driving them to keep going in a more difficult direction.
Which is the direction they should be going.
It's the correct way, but Sarah wants to go the easy way.
Below, like, follow the burning. So I can't remember what she calls it.
Burning mountains.
Yeah,
the mountains that burn.
Yeah.
But
and
Sarah just wants to walk in the valley because it's nicer. They don't have to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
And
they all agree with her.
And Spike is an ostrich. Can't stand there fighting and tries to bury his head in the sand, and it makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Mostly because he's so big.
Yeah,
his head doesn't go anywhere.
He's giant. He is at least 3 times any of their sizes, and buries his face in the sand.
He's terrified, tail all tucked up under his belly, burying his face in the sand because they're fighting.
No.
But Sarah and them they all part ways. Littlefoot goes off by himself the correct way, and they go the easy way. And I guess Littlefoot must get lonely and miss them and goes looking for them, and they are getting their shit fucked up in tar pits and lava.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're
went the wrong way.
Yeah, I think Petrie falls into the tar pit, and then
Yeah, they leave him there. They just abandon him.
And Ducky and Spike get caught on a rock in the middle of some flowing lava.
And Sarah's getting attacked by a pack of head butter dinosaurs.
Head butter?
Head butter.
What's head butter?
Evil carnivores.
Head butters.
What? Is that in the dairy section of the supermarket, or?
I was waiting for you to make that joke. It was just as unfunny as I was expecting it to be.
Well, it could be head cheese, which isn't dairy.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, what? What have you done?
You don't like entrails?
Moving on.
What kind of a German are you?
I'm not. You are. You disgusting creature. So Sarah has to admit to herself she went the wrong way. Littlefoot comes to the rescue. They all scare the crap out of her, all covered in tar. Always makes me laugh. I like it when she gets her comeuppance because she's such a little bitch.
Yeah, all of them. Basically, everybody tries to rescue Petrie, and they all end up covered in tar.
Yeah.
And they look like, well, a tar monster, you can imagine.
Which they used to scare away the butterhead dinosaurs.
Yeah, the head cheese guys.
No. Everybody has head cheese inside their head.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's technical term.
Next to the thetan.
I think this is when they decide it's time to kill the sharp tooth for some reason.
Uh-huh.
And decide, okay, he can't swim because he has nubby little arms, and they
decide to because they hear him. They hear him coming. They see him. So they're
sick of him following them.
Yeah.
Being a dick. So they have a plan to drown him, and of course they use Ducky as bait. Poor little Ducky.
Well, I mean, she's the loudest.
That's very true. She is a big mouth.
Yeah. So I guess they come up with a pretty elaborate plan, actually.
Yeah, they're gonna lure him into the center of this really deep pond and drop a rock on him. Super elaborate.
Well, yeah, from way up though, from 100 feet, basically.
Yeah. But things start to go awry when Littlefoot and Spike aren't strong enough to push this rock on the shark tooth, and Petrie goes down to try and make sure Ducky's safe. It's all chaos.
Petrie can't fly, by the way. I don't think we've ever mentioned that.
No, Petrie cannot fly. We actually haven't mentioned that he was a flying type dinosaur at all. He's pterodactyl.
He's a pterodon, and he can't fly, and he's really, really ashamed about it. But like any saccharine sweet Saturday morning cartoon,
he learns to fly at the right moment.
Yeah.
And Sarah comes in at the last minute to save the day, helps them push the rock. Sharptooth goes down, drags Petrie down with him.
They think the T-Rex actually dies. He drowns.
He does. We all think Petrie's dead for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then it turns out he's not because he learned how to fly just before.
Yeah, so they couldn't kill him. That would have been a little bit heartbreaking. And this movie doesn't like to do that.
No, well, it is. Yeah, it's rated soft G, so
it already destroyed our souls. It doesn't need to. And this is when Littlefoot sees his mother in the clouds, and she tells him that he's so close.
Yeah.
By calling him and beckoning him, and she shows him the last little bit of the way, and everybody gets reunited with their families. And I think one of my favorite parts about that is Ducky's family unquestioningly adopting Spike.
Yeah, and Ducky,
not even the same species.
Yeah, not even close.
Nope, not even close.
Spike is about 40 times larger than the largest baby, so
probably can't swim.
Yeah,
and they are aquatic dinosaurs.
Yeah, amphibious for sure.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
So which one of the sequels is the one with the giant asteroid?
Hopefully the last one.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how. Let me see. I can tell you probably
That one hasn't happened yet, unfortunately. I mean, what's
that bright thing in the sky?
The way we've described this film, it sounds very, very simple, and it is. Like I said, there isn't much to say about it other than it is basically a slightly deeper than normal Saturday morning cartoon special.
There's 16 movies. The last one came out in 2016.
Oh no!
And there's a TV series as well.
Yes.
Hey, they have an Ice Age one.
No.
Wow.
Oh, Journey to the Big Water.
Oh, is that the one where Littlefoot is a Sith Lord, or?
I'd watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Time of the Great Giving.
Oh no.
Is that a Christmas one?
It's a Thanksgiving special.
Oh. Yeah.
What?
But yeah,
dinosaurs were big celebrators of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's a lot. There are a lot of Land Before Time titles. They're still making them. I'm sure there will be another one.
Like I said, when I saw the second one, when it first came out on VHS, I actually rage quit. I turned it off. The second
one is the only one that's not like terrible. But it has the same don't judge somebody for being different message that the first one had. You don't need to watch it. If you watched the first one, you've watched the second one.
Isn't the fifth one the one where Littlefoot gets in the van with the stranger?
Oh,
that joke landed like a sack of potatoes.
That one the hard way. Isn't that, oh man, the seventh one where, oh man, they go bowling, they have to spread some ashes somewhere, get in some trouble.
Big Lebowski with Littlefoot. I would watch that.
The big little footski, I don't know, something like that.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so The Land Before Time. If you want to traumatize yourself and your children, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, very, very difficult to watch. Very powerful, well written.
But you know what? If you're looking for a way to tell your kid why Grandma doesn't come to visit anymore, it's a good way.
Yeah, she got eaten by a T-Rex.
I hate it when that happens.
Grandma got eaten by a T-Rex.
I can't make it into work today. Why not? Grandma got eaten by a T-Rex. Again?
Oh. I thought her birthday was last week. Come on. The standard, it's my grandmother's birthday excuse. Anyway, I would certainly recommend the movie.
Oh yeah, me too. It is saccharine sweet as an adult. Bane experienced it for the first time as an adult. Yeah,
it is my favorite movie, but like I said, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't allowed a ton as a kid. So the little things I was allowed, they're very
The reason why this movie is my favorite movie of forever is because of the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of this movie they transcend the sum of its parts. It's not, the first 10 minutes are not just a saccharine sweet kids movie. It's well written, it's well directed, the music is beautiful.
It's heart-wrenching.
It's heart-wrenching, it's hard to watch, it's hard to listen to. And that one scene where Littlefoot's mother dies, it's just the way it's portrayed with there's no close-ups of anyone's faces. They just
have a little conversation with each other.
And that's it. And it's just so powerful and hits so hard, even today. And yeah, that's really all I can say about it. It does. I can't. It's hard for me to even think about, let alone watch.
Oh yeah, I was getting close to crying.
So
let's not do that again to me.
So that is that. That's really all there is to it. But the rest of the movie is fun. But that's all it is. It's fun. It's just a sweet movie, and it's done really well. So it's not
really worth watching.
It is totally. So
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the next one is coming out next year, and it's directed by Neil Breen. Is that correct?
Oh, part 17. Yeah. Oh man,
should we wait for that to come out before we do our Neil Breen special?
And it's starring Neil Breen, directed by Neil Breen. The script is by Neil Breen. And,
all the voice actors are Neil Breen.
Yeah, the makeup, Neil Breen.
What's it called again?
The animation, Neil Breen.
Neil Breen is great. The Land Before Time, part 17, Neil Breen is great.
I can't believe you have done this, Ice Age.
That's a working title though, so they may change it.
They're probably just going to change it to The Land Before Neil Breen with Neil Breen.
The Land.
I like that.
Well, he likes that too.
I like the idea of The Land Before Neil Breen, honestly.
I mean, it's an impossibility.
At this point,
if we do a Neil Breen special, that's what we should call it.
The Land Before Neil Breen. Deal. Oh, no. All right, so on that note, segue, we're going to do The Secrets of NIMH, which is probably one of my favorite Don Bluth films.
I have to say, out of the three, this one's probably has the best animation and the most complex story.
Yeah.
Even though it's pro-rodent propaganda.
Yes, cats are wonderful.
Despite that unfortunate turn of events, it is the most complex and arguably best movie of the bunch.
So this was his first one after leaving Disney?
Sure was. Yep.
So he peaked right away and then dropped off afterwards.
I'm sorry? I
would disagree with that. I have a list of honorable mentions. It was really hard for me to pick because I've watched a lot of Don Bluth films that are just he makes wonderful films.
He does. He's very good as an animator, as like an actual animator, a physical animator that animates things. He's amazing. I think his first one for Disney was Robin Hood. He did a lot of animation for that.
Yeah, character design.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm not overly familiar with Disney animation. It's not really my cup of tea. So,
well, no, fair enough. But Anon, think about Robin Hood and his character designs, The Secret of NIMH. Think about it for a second.
Oh yeah,
aren't they so similar?
They very much are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the evil carnivore in The Secrets of NIMH that doesn't talk.
The sleeping cat.
The sleeping cat, yeah.
Oh, of course, and they can't talk. Evil carnivores can't talk.
No words.
That certainly is his.
A bit racist, don't you think?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Anyway, he started his career with Disney, and apparently he got a little disheartened with the whole thing. So,
why?
Well, there are a few different accounts of that. Basically, I'm actually not sure why, but I just all I know is that he started his own studio. I think it was like in the early 80s or late 70s or something.
So not enough control? Were they too corporatized?
Well, man, see, again, I'm not prepared for this at all, even though I should be. I believe that was the reason, or one of the reasons. Just disheartened with the entire process, I believe. But he didn't actually start his own studio until he was like much late. Well, not much later, but not until he was in his mid-40s.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta say I'm not overly familiar with his work. I'm more familiar with something like or someone like Ralph Bakshi. Is that
Bashki. I always said it as Bashki. I'm not sure if that's correct either. But yeah, I really love his work as well. And his anime.
It's quite unique, his work, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, you can tell right away. Bashki, Bakshi. Yeah, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it?
No.
No, he's about the same age. He what's his first movie or one of the movies? I shouldn't have watched it when I was in my early teens. Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, and the creator of Fritz the Cat killed off the character in the comic afterwards because he hated the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I guess he's more of a prolific... You know what? Yeah, I think Bakshi has become a little bit more prolific than Don Bluth over time.
He's more adult-orientated than Don.
He is, yeah. I have some of his movies. Like, I have a bootleg copy of Fritz the Cat on DVD. I have Fire and Ice he did.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Cool World, that was a dirty movie. in the best way. That was Cool World. That was his answer to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That same style. The live action.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I'm trying to remember.
I had to go rescue the dog.
Hmm?
I had to go rescue our dog.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's up there.
Not anymore. Anyways, where are we?
Was he on the roof?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to fetch him. He can get up there, but he can't get down.
We were just talking about why Don Bluth left Disney. And
he really did just want to do his own thing, and they wouldn't let him.
Apparently, yeah. There's a few different stories revolving around that, but he was basically given an offer to leave or something. Again, there's so many different accounts of this that it's hard to tell which one is correct, and he's never actually come out and actually said it, as far as I know.
I think, like I said, I think he just wanted to get out and do his own thing. Because he did so much on his own. I think that's the only logical conclusion. Yeah. He just wanted to do his own thing, and Disney didn't want to make the movies he wanted to make.
And he had a protege too, like Land Before Time was produced like financially by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, right? Which was a big deal in 1988.
Well, of course, because it was a prequel to Jurassic Park.
Of course.
Seriously, I'm gonna punch you. I'm just gonna climb over there. Just right in the face.
Yeah. Well, he had an associate called. His name was Gary Goldman. He a lot. Gary Goldman produced most of Don Bluth's work.
Well, yeah, he worked on the screenplay for The Secret of NIMH.
Yeah, and many other Don Bluth films. And all I know is, and I there's this one quote I have written down here, just from from the story that's most believable. And their goal was, and I quote, to restore animation to something better than it was or is.
Yeah.
And that sounds really cocky, but I think if anybody is familiar with Disney in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it wasn't great in terms of animation quality, originality of stories, like at all, like zero, almost zilch. Like
people loved it.
They did, but not as much as they used to or did after. It didn't pick back up again until The Little Mermaid in 1989.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because that's exactly it came out almost exactly 1 year after The Land Before Time ignited the box office.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of lit a fire under Disney's ass.
Yeah.
But the idea was that he took a bunch of animators from Disney with him and started their own production company called Don Bluth Studios. I think that's what it was called. Don Bluth Productions, rather.
Yeah.
So they did an Image Comics, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They took off from Marvel and DC and
screw you guys, I'm gonna go do my own shit.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane were basically like, fuck you, Disney, we're gonna make Spawn, I guess. Or whatever, I'm getting my timelines crossed here. But that's the basic idea. And that's the one quote I take from all of this that I think is true, is to restore animation to something better than it is. more than the sum of its parts. And I use that term for The Land Before Time. And I think that sums up most of Don Bluth's films. No matter how sacred, sweet, or simple they are more than the sum of their parts.
Yeah.
They're more than what you see. They're more than what you hear.
There's always something.
And there's definitely a lot of heart in them.
Yeah.
There really is. And there's a lot of heart in most Disney movies of the era too.
If I was going to give an award for the most soul in animation, I would give it to Don Bluth over Disney every time.
Absolutely. I really would. He just
understands. I think he just understands children.
Well, this is going to be a strange... I'm going to compare him to somebody really strange right now, but I think, Anon, you'll get it.
Dr. Strange?
I've thought of this since I was a teenager. I actually compare him when I started reading Stephen King's work, his novels. Stephen King has an understanding of children that...
Yes, actually, yeah, no, you're right.
That few authors do. And I think Don Bluth is the same way. He writes children in his films in a manner that children see themselves as.
Yeah.
And that makes them more relatable. Where I find most of Disney's films, whether they were animated or written by Walt Disney himself or after his death, they write children from an adult's point of view.
Yeah.
And I think that alienates kids.
Can do, yeah.
Certainly alienated me as a child. But I can tell you, I never felt alienated or talked down to by...
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the talk. It's feeling like you're being patronized.
I never got that feeling with The Land Before Time. It's just all of those kids in that movie. It's how kids see themselves. It's not kids from an adult's point of view. None of these kids are stupid.
No, but they're kids.
They're kids. Kids aren't stupid. They're just ignorant, and
they're new.
That's
they're
okay.
fresh.
They're new. They're fresh. They don't have any. They're not. We're not born with experience.
No, exactly.
Littlefoot learned the hard way, and
they'll learn.
Grew. I mean, I guess Bambi is a good example of that for Disney. I mean, Bambi did it right.
Yeah, Bambi didn't.
Then again, we didn't see him grow up.
No.
We didn't see Littlefoot grow up either, but we also witnessed Littlefoot mourn.
Yeah.
and deal with the pain and the loss, as opposed to just glossing over it and having this giant king of the forest. You know, and I'm not... Bambi is a beautiful film. I don't want to talk that movie down. I love that movie. But...
Yeah, I've seen that on Pornhub. It was good.
Well, Bambi's been around. I mean...
By the way, there is actually a sequel to Bambi that takes place all in the time span where he's being raised by his father. And it's really cute. Single father raising his son. It's very cute.
No, I guess that was early 2000s or something, right?
I think so. But it's really cute. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen like bits and pieces of it. It's very sweet. You don't see a lot of single fathers in Disney.
Not really. They usually die.
Yeah, you don't see them very often at all, really.
I'm guessing everyone's seen Bambi versus Godzilla.
You're the peanut gallery this episode.
No, I'm serious. It's an actual movie.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's an animated short.
Uh-huh.
Look it up.
I am. I'm upset. Oh, it just steps on Bambi. Yeah. Gotcha.
Told you it was real.
Well, didn't Disney just step on Bambi's character development?
Oh, that was harsh.
No, I'm not actually. I love that movie so much.
Well, they brought the character development back if you watch the second Bambi.
Sure, but you see what I mean, though, right? Like he wasn't afraid to actually present that to small children. and that sounded wrong. And
okay, moving on. The Secrets of Nim. The Secret of Nim. We immediately meet our plucky little main character, Mrs. Brisby, who's looking for medicine for her sick son Timmy, because of course little Timmy is sick.
And of course Timmy.
Little Timmy fell down the well. Little Timmy's going to lose his leg. Little Timmy's very sick.
Little Timmy is a mouse, and he ate some mouse poison.
Yeah, he ate poison and has pneumonia. So Mr. Ages is as an elderly mouse who is a scientist, obviously, and he gives her some medicine, tells her that he absolutely cannot leave the house. The chill in the air will kill him. He has to stay in bed.
Is there a lot of mice in STEM?
Huh?
Are there a lot of mice in STEM?
No, but it's a misrepresentation. It's horrible, really.
So do we need to raise their score to get more mice into STEM fields?
We do.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Age is surely qualified, and I don't think he got a doctorate, but he deserved one.
Well, there you go.
Oh, gosh. So, on her way back to bring medicine to her sick son, she encounters a crow who's probably the best character ever.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Just looking for a girl. He's got some string. just looking for a nice girl. Make a love nest.
Does that work?
String?
Yeah.
I mean that's how Master Anon bagged me.
Is that string theory? Is that what they mean by string theory?
Sure, let's call it that.
He just tied me up. I'm being held against my will. Please help.
I'll be right back. No.
Shit. Oh, so Jeremy is all tangled up in his love nest string. Ooh, that sounded terrible. Sorry.
There's bondage in this movie and everything.
Oh, yeah. And Mrs. Brisby proceeds to try to help him escape the string because they're worried about the farmer's cat, Farmer Fitzgibbon. Because that's a great name.
Very Irish.
So the crow uses his safe word to get out the string, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the safe word is dragon. which is the name of the cat. Who of course comes to make chase. And they both narrowly escape, and she loses the medicine. But of course, Jeremy, all nonchalantly, not knowing how important it is like, oh hey, you dropped this. It's a hilarious interaction.
Yeah,
she's bawling and going, oh my god, I lost my kid's medicine.
Yeah,
and he's just talking away to her about how much he wants to meet a girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he dropped it.
I've only watched this movie once, but didn't it start with some rat wizardry?
Well, that's way later.
I thought it was right at the start.
Oh, yes. Actually, we get narration by Nicodemus, who is writing in this beautiful book with glowing golden ink that adheres itself to the page magically. Yes, I skimmed over Nicodemus and his narration.
So, why do the rats have magic?
It's not magic; it's technology. Your puny brain just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the narration is important because it tells us that Mrs. Brisby's husband Jonathan died that day. Mm-hmm. So that's an important thing. I should have skipped over that.
It is kind of a key point to the story.
Yeah,
his name keeps coming up.
It's pretty important. Anyways, Jonathan Brisby is dead. So,
which was the original title.
Jonathan Brisby is dead. So, we get the music in this movie. Oh, it's wonderful. I get it stuck in my head all the time.
Oh, for sure.
This really, really beautiful score of music playing over as she gives Timothy his medicine. But not before we meet her other 3 children, who are hilarious and torture this freaking, what is she, a mole?
I think a mole. Yeah, I think so.
Mole. Some kind of field-dwelling animal. Anyway, she's like the neighborhood's busybody.
I gotta say the animation in this.
True.
I think the animation in this is a lot more beautiful than the other movies. It seems to have more depth to it. I'm not really sure how to describe it.
Had a bigger budget than a lot of them.
That might be it. But it's just something about it. There's more depth to it than the others.
It's stunning to look at. There's texture and layers, and you're right.
Land Before Time, some scenes were animated really well, but most of the Land Before Time, as an example, just you can tell that they're just matte paintings.
Yeah, and they just have 1 or 3 backdrops that they just sort of reuse
over and over. Yeah. Most of the backgrounds are just kind of a faded out yellow.
And it's funny, The Land Before Time made way more money than this movie did.
It did, and it came 6 years after too.
Yeah.
But it had such a small budget. But this one, it didn't have a massive budget either. But yeah, Bane is right. It does have more depth. Like every scene is just, even the matte painting scenes, there's just more to it. The animation is better. Because let's be, most of the animation in The Land Before Time is not that great. It's pretty jerky.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think The Land Before Time is probably more accessible to children than
definitely.
In terms of look and story, for sure. Absolutely.
And you know what's weird? I was shockingly allowed to watch The Secret of Nim as a kid.
With all the magic?
It's rather complex. It's rather a complex plot.
Yeah, and you know what? There was no rhyme or reason to the Jehovah's Witness censorship. It was just, I think it was just whatever they felt like.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay with talking mice and rats.
Yeah, I was okay to watch this, but I couldn't watch Sleeping Beauty because of the dragon and the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
But Bane's right, though. It is a pretty sophisticated plot.
And it's a stunning movie to look at. It's quite beautiful. When we get later, especially in the rose bush with the water and the lights, and just it's quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm. But they encounter the cat pretty soon, don't they? After
the cat chases them off, and she loses his medicine, and Jeremy just happens to have it. Like, oh yeah, you dropped this.
Yeah. So
she goes back home, and Annie Shrew is there being tortured by her other 3 children. But she's just there to inform Mrs. Brisby that the tractor is coming, the frost is off the ground, and she has to move. Which, of course, is upsetting because she cannot move her son outside because he'll die.
Yeah.
So she gives him medicine, and oh gosh, I can't remember who tells her to see the great owl. Somebody tells her she should go see the great owl.
Wasn't it? It wasn't the shrew, was it?
It might have been Annie Shrew. Could have been. I don't know. Maybe it was Jeremy too. But Jeremy takes her to see the great owl right after this to find out if, what she can do, how she can move her house without taking Timmy outside. And oh god, I love everything about.
Because the tractor's going to come and kill them.
The tractor's going to come. Actually, I think the tractor does start up the next day before she. That's what happens.
Oh yeah,
the tractor starts up, and Annie Shrew starts screaming, and all the animals start running, and Mrs. Brisby heads straight for it to try to stop it, because obviously she hasn't moved her family, and Annie Shrew comes in all to the rescue and helps her disable disable the tractor, cut the fuel line, as you do when you're a shrew.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that basically that cucks the farmer right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the farmer is fucked for at least they bought him some time. Don't know how much, but some time, and they have to. And this is, I think, when she says you should go ask the great owl. But owls eat mice. But she doesn't have a choice. So Jeremy, being the chivalrous man he is, the chivalrous crow with all of his string,
Yeah.
flies her to the great owl. And I love the inside of that tree. Everything, how he's in the background, and we see him, but she doesn't. It's wonderful, the whole scene. And his voice, I don't know who did the voice acting for the great owl, but damn.
Neil Breen.
He did all the good voice actors.
Yes.
It's all Neil Breen. The secret of Breen. So Mrs. Brisby has a conversation with the great owl, and he tells her, okay, you got to go see the rats in the rose bush. They will help you. And she goes. And
amazingly, he didn't eat her. So,
well, he went to hunt. She came there to talk to him. He's not a monster. He is not a non-speaking carnivore. Therefore, he's not evil.
I see.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I mean, technically, Jeremy would have eaten the mouse too. So.
Jeremy is an omnivore.
Yeah, that's true.
And they don't hunt.
No, well, Jeremy would literally eat shit, so I guess that's not really a good.
He's not a carnivore. He's
a good indicator of a villain in an animated children's movie, I guess.
Also, he's too excited about string.
Yeah, it's true.
Who isn't though?
I mean, I know I am.
Jeremy is all of us.
Have you guys seen The Goodies? Remember The Goodies? That English show?
No.
No? You've never seen The Goodies from the 70s? They had an episode on string.
Either of us were born yet.
I know, but you can watch shows, that were made before you were born. There's this thing called the internet. You know?
Like this movie, as an example. The one we're talking about right now.
Oh, we both weren't alive, were we?
No.
No. Shit.
I think. I think.
Oh, that was an immediate foot and mouth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make fun of him because he's old.
Oh.
Well, at least I've seen The Goodies.
Yeah, that's true. Does it have Neil Breen in it?
No.
Not very good, then, is it?
He was trying to sell the studio it was made in at the time. That was a real estate. Okay, that fell flat. Let's move on.
That was a real estate joke because that's his day job.
Yeah,
Oh,
real estate jokes are always funny.
yeah.
My favorite branch of humor.
They're tough to sell.
Oh God! Oh, you're fired. Oh God! So Mrs. Brisby goes to the rose bush, and Jeremy tries to stealth get to her, and he walks directly over top of Dragon for some fucking reason.
Yep.
Because why? There's a huge yard to walk around, but no. Goes right over the cat, right through his feet. Doesn't get caught, but
somehow.
Yeah. Cartoon magic.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells Jeremy to piss off because he's going to get her caught. So he goes to look after her children while she peruses the rose bush. When she gets in there, she gets attacked by a terrifying rat with a big electric spear named Brutus.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, don't you? When you're going to walk in your rose bush and you just get attacked by a Brutus? Such a dick.
Well, it doesn't matter what the rat's name is. If it's got, some kind of weapon, it's...
Rats with electric spears.
Yeah.
Worst.
These rats, I guess she gets chased away and she gets.
Well, she runs into Mr. Ages on her way to fleeing.
Yeah.
Who has a broken leg for some reason. We don't know yet. And
these rats use technology.
They do have technology. They have electricity. That's where all the lights come from. That's what all the quote-unquote magic is. It's just technology. fancy technology. So Mr. Ages asks her what she's doing there, and she says, oh, well, the Great Owl told me to come. And he goes, holy crap, you talked to the Great Owl. Well, he told you to come, so I'm going to take you in. And they go a different way. And they meet the captain of the guard, Justin. And he's very nice. Of course. Not like Brutus, who's a dick.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Brutus. Brutus is a dick. So they go and they're having a conversation about the fact that the rats are going to move soon away from the farm because they don't like to steal from the farmer.
Yeah, it's so unlike rats.
Yeah, well, because they're intelligent, they understand that stealing is wrong.
And they'll get noticed eventually, and it's just.
And they'll get noticed eventually, and then they'll get taken back to Nim. Nobody wants that. So they walk in.
The rats and the mice can talk because of Nim, right? An experiment.
They can talk to each other. They can always communicate with each other.
It's a cartoon.
But, yeah, but the rats can read, and they have.
They can use electricity. They understand it. At least they can, harnessing of it.
They understand technology, obviously. They understand how to create things. They understand morals a little bit more so than most animals would.
Yeah, and rats are already intelligent in and of themselves, so give them
just make them more so.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, it just evolved their brains maybe another 10,000 years or so.
And it's also slowed the aging process. So they age far, far slower than the average rodent.
Yeah.
So they go down in this very cool lantern through a bunch of water, and they have it's like a submarine where they close one end, drain the water, then you can get out. It's pretty cool. It's
pretty elaborate.
Very elaborate for rats. And they walk into what I would call politics. Rat politics. They have politics where Jenner, who does not want to move or leave the rose bush, wants to just stay there. They've got everything they need. Who cares if we're stealing it? Whatever. Decides that he's going to use Mrs. Brisby's situation to kill Nicodemus, who's the leader of the rats, and encourages the other rats to help her for his nefarious purposes.
So it's the old, I'm going to use a sick young mouse to lure the real leader into a position where I can stab him in the back and kill him storyline. It's often used in movies.
That one.
What a cliche.
So Mrs. Brisby then gets the privilege of meeting Nicodemus, who basically lets her read his, I guess I would call it a diary.
Yeah.
And learn about Jonathan's death and what happened. And then he tells her about Nim, which we figured out earlier is the National Institute of Mental Health. And they essentially did experiments on animals, and they gave the rats and mice something that unlocked their brains and made them hyper intelligent.
LSD.
Acid.
Yeah, and that's the secret of Nim. Never mix LSD and laxatives together.
You're gonna have a shitty time. So they suddenly were able to look at the words on their cage and understand them. And they, of course, being hyper intelligent at this point, they hide it from the scientists and continue quote unquote normal behavior and take an opportunity to escape through the ventilation system. But unfortunately for the mice, they get blown away in the air because they're not rats and big.
Yeah, that's right.
All except for two, Mr. Ages and Jonathan Brisby. And it's Jonathan Brisby who allows them to escape. He crawls through a very tiny grate and unlocks it so that they can all escape. Which is why they're eager to help her, because she's his widow and he's rather famous.
Well, yeah, he's kind of almost like a prophet in that.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
The hero. And Nicodemus gives Mrs. Brisby an amulet, which he refers to as the stone. And he says that if it's wielded by a pure heart, it has unspeakable power. And if Jenner knew of its existence, it would be doom. It would bring doom to them all. And she loves it, of course, and thanks him. And they're all gonna go and help her on the morrow or the evening. Actually, no, it's the same day, isn't it? I think it is.
It's the same day, yeah.
It's the same day. So Mrs. Brisby is talking with Justin and Nicodemus while they're escorting her out, and discovers that Mr. Ages broke his leg drugging Dragon to make sure that he doesn't hunt them at night, because, as cats would. And she volunteers to do it. And when she goes to drug Dragon, she gets caught by the farmhouse's kid.
Yeah.
And whilst she is trapped in a cage, which Justin says very nicely, "Oh, I'll just come back for you later."
Yeah.
So I gotta run off and move your house. I'll be back. She's trapped in a bird cage, and she can hear a phone conversation between the farmer and Nim, who call and ask, "Oh, are the rats acting peculiar on the farm?"
Mm-hmm.
And the farmer go, "Oh yeah, they're just rats, but I mean, if you want to come and bulldoze that rose bush and get rid of them for us." He's happy. He doesn't have to pay for an exterminator.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Brisby hears this, and it lights a fire under her ass to get out of this bird cage. And she escapes and runs off to warn the rats. And when she gets there, it's just after she doesn't make it quite in time. So as she's escaping and trying to get back to her house, they've got a big rope and pulley system to move her house, which is inside a big cinder block. And whilst they're moving the cinder block, of course, Jenner cuts the ropes and drops it on Nicodemus, who he successfully murders. And this is when Mrs. Brisby shows up and starts telling them that Nim is coming. And of course, Jenner loses his ever-loving mind. And I get really serious The Great Mouse Detective vibes from this.
Oh,
yeah.
I suppose you would. Yeah.
And there's blood. There's real blood. Him and Justin have a sword fight.
Yeah, no, it's actually that it's fairly intense too.
Yep, they have a sword fight. There's blood. Jenner cuts the chest open of another rat was helping him but had second thoughts about it. And but just before he dies, he whips a dagger at Jenner's back and
Yeah, Jenner falls from the cliff, or I think
the rock. Yeah, the rock.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be a cliff to them.
Yeah, it would
look pretty high.
yeah. And dies. And then her house starts sinking in the mud, and she can hear her children screaming inside. And it sinks completely under the mud.
Yeah, and this scene actually is hard to watch with Mrs. Brisby. Just like her panic is.
Well, they drag her away. She's trying to get them out, but they drag her away, and she's doing what any mother would do, and
yes.
she would have gone down with them.
Oh yeah,
right down.
But everybody's trying to help her, drag her away. We see her kids basically in the house, just begging to get them screaming out. Yeah.
And this is when the stone activates. This is magic. I mean, come on, it's magic.
Yeah, this part is for sure.
And the stone, it lights on fire, and I guess it's hot to the touch, and she drops it, but she forces herself to pick it back up, and it causes her to glow with a power.
So it's uranium then.
Yes.
Well,
magic uranium.
It's dare I say it? It's a magic rock.
See, I told you Neil Breen wrote this.
It's a magic stone. Come on.
Okay.
The secret.
So it's uranium, and she turns into the Hulk. Is that?
Yeah. Well, no, she only touches that rope, and it goes down into the mud, lifts out her house, places it on the other side of the stone where the tractor doesn't go.
Yeah.
Happy ending. Bravo.
Where do I get a stone like that?
This is after she watches her kids apparently die in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is rather disturbing for a movie like this.
Yeah. So yeah, the ending of this movie is really intense for a good 20 minutes.
And even just the fire when the amulet is burning, when she picks it up, the animation is amazing. He used rotoscope animation a lot in his movies.
Do you want to know what the best happy ending of this movie is? Jeremy finds his clumsy girlfriend, gets himself a woman.
Ah, so the string worked.
It
Take
did.
That, pickup artists.
That's right. You just need some fucking string.
Yeah, I'm going to get some string and go and hassle some women in public now. And then I'll blame this movie when I get arrested.
For teaching you that being clumsy and having string is how you get women.
Being clumsy and I was thinking more, you got to get yourself some string and some black gloves and a panel van. And
Jeremy didn't have a van.
Well, that's his problem. He would have gotten bitches way before the ending of this movie.
Oh, so the string is the long game.
Well, yeah, the string is the insurance policy. I think I'm taking it too far.
Hey, baby, you want to come home and see my string collection?
Yeah, that's right.
Sounds awful. Why does it sound like jizz?
I mean,
so yeah, very, very beautiful movie.
She glows.
She glows. She saves the day. Everybody lives except Nicodemus and the two evil rats.
Yeah.
The other rats escape from Nim. There's nobody for them to find in the rose bush. They get rid of all the evidence. It's all good. Happy ending.
And they never made a sequel?
They did, and it's not terrible. But Disney bought the franchise. It's very much a Disney sequel. They sing. It lacks a lot of the soul that the original had, but it's not terrible. Is the animation
as good?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I don't think so. It didn't make a lasting impression, so I'm gonna say
no.
So, um,
So there's
towards the
only
end,
been one sequel, not 28, like The Land Before
I
Time.
think there's only been one. Let me check.
Yeah. You see, that seems to be an ongoing problem with Don Bluth's movies. He left and pissed them off, and then they end up forcefully purchasing his stuff. He directed a lot of movies like this throughout the 80s that are more than the sum of their parts. Very serious for an animated kids movie, like An American Tail. The first one is a lot different than Fievel Goes West in terms of its subject matter and its atmosphere. Same with Anastasia.
Okay, I just discovered something interesting.
Hmm.
There is a third one in the making.
Oh, really?
Yes. That'll be interesting. It's scheduled to come out in 2020.
Huh.
Is it Disney? If it's Disney, it's probably garbage.
Is it part of the Marvel Universe?
Yeah.
Crossover?
But yeah, the second one, I mean, I didn't hate it. The last time I watched it, I think I was, God, when did it come out? Oh,
Don't know.
1998. So I was 10.
Holy moly, that is 16 years after the fact. Wow.
Yeah. And it's very Disney. It's super cutesy. Like, it lacks the soul. It's not as...
It lacks the backbone.
Yeah, it's certainly not... It's certainly not...
Even The Land Before Time has backbone compared to a lot of Disney films. So.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the trailer right now. The animation isn't terrible, but it's very Disney. It's not... It's not... It's not adult. Let's put it that way.
I think out of the three movies we're reviewing today, I'd prefer this one, and that's mainly because of the animation.
Yeah, it's quite stunning.
It is amazing to look at. It's very well done. There are very few hiccups. There isn't much that really can take you out of the movie. It's done. It's animated the best out of all three for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely has a different feel than the other two.
It does. It's a little more adult.
Yeah.
In terms of narrative, for absolutely, yeah. Even more so than Titan AE, which is
is weird.
Pretty neat sci-fi. I like Titan AE a lot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
The Dredge, as an example, like the villain or villains are great.
They are.
Yeah, that like but the execution itself is it's good, but the story is very, very generic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, in a rated, think about it, in a rated PG movie meant for small children and early teens at the most, and adults too can enjoy it. But I mean, the Earth actually gets blown up on screen, which is I mean, even today that would be fairly intense for a soft PG rated movie.
Yeah,
it was done really well. So.
Before we move on, like to the end of the show here, I do have some honorable mentions because it was really hard. I'm a big fan of Don Bluth, and it was really hard for me to pick just one of his movies. So some movies you could watch if you're interested in more of his stuff that you actually, a lot of people probably seen, but they think it's Disney.
Yeah.
An American Tail, which is the predecessor of Fievel Goes West.
Yeah.
All Dogs Go to Heaven is a Don Bluth.
Mm-hmm.
Rockadoodle. Bane, if you're going to watch any of them, watch that one. It's so fucking weird. You will love it.
Okay.
If you do smoke weed, please do so before. And
Rockadoodle is so weird.
Yeah. Great.
Elvis Rooster.
Yeah.
It's a trip. Thumbelina, very Disney. Lots of people think it's Disney. Has the princess meets prince type story. A Troll in Central Park, one of my personal favorites. Very kid friendly. Very much don't pollute the environment message. Really cute. The Pebble and the Penguin, another one of my personal favorites. It's just a corny love story. It's very cute. Anastasia, a lot of people have seen, I'm sure. It's
Asia is probably his most serious movie.
Yeah, it definitely is. Anastasia is the story of Anastasia, but except Rasputin actually has magical wizard powers in the film adaptation. It's quite good.
It's really I almost picked it instead of Land Before Time. It's my second favorite film of his. It's rated a hard PG. Like there are pretty brutal deaths in it.
Well, you don't see the slaughter of the entire royal family, but you know it happened, and they do talk about it. And
and I almost picked it. It's very, very well done. Very
it gets called a Disney film quite often.
It's not.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I actually had the dog from that movie, the little flappy ears, little plushie. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, people have said it's pretty historically accurate. Aside from Rasputin, aside from all the magic and stuff, it's pretty historically accurate.
And yeah, that's what I hear as well.
And then some of the Disney movies or other movies he's worked on. He worked on Sleeping Beauty.
Long time ago, yeah.
Robin Hood, Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The Rescuers, which is the predecessor to The Rescuers Down Under, which is arguably better. The Fox and the Hound, of course. Dragon's Lair. God, he's worked on a lot. He's a very talented man.
Mostly as an animator, and then
as an animator, yep. But yeah, if you're gonna watch any of them, Rock-a-Doodle. It is so bizarre.
It really is.
I remember.
I'll have to check that out sometime then.
Yeah, I remember when Master Non and I watched it, and all he said at the end was, "God, that was bizarre." I don't know how to describe it without giving away the plot because it is so bizarre.
Well, we never spoil anything on this show, so.
Well, I don't want to spoil something that we haven't warned people we're going to spoil.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll do a review of it down the track.
Yeah, I might pick it later. It's so fucking weird. Maybe I'll pick another couple of his movies for an episode later.
So, I'm guessing everyone would recommend these movies?
Oh, absolutely. If you're only going to watch one, probably The Secrets of NIMH. As an adult.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the others are more accessible to children, but
if
The
you've got
Secrets of
kids,
NIMH,
The Land Before Time is really good.
I think the story is probably more adult and the animation is quite beautiful. So
definitely.
I'd have to pick that one out of the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Believe it or not, for sure.
No, you're not. You're inside. You're going, The Land Before Time is the best.
Yeah, again, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It is.
I can understand your bias. I think if I had seen it as a kid, I'd probably have the same experience.
Yeah, it's one of those childhood loves of yours that.
Well, it is. I can watch the movie today just whenever and not be bored.
You get turned right back into a kid again.
I do. It's my happy place. I love it. It's just, and it probably will remain my favorite film of all time until I die. So. Well, yeah, but not just on a critical level. The Secret of NIMH is the best of the three. Almost objectively so. If you're going to start with one of these movies, watch The Secret of NIMH for sure.
Yeah, get your toes wet.
Yeah.
So the next episode is just going to be me groaning and crying.
Well, just before we get to what's coming up, because we'll talk about the next 2 or 3 shows briefly, maybe.
Yes.
All I've got to say is Nicolas Cage, H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh dear.
Oh no, what is he doing to me?
Yeah, you haven't heard?
No.
Oh, there's a movie out starring Nicolas Cage. It's a H.P. Lovecraft movie.
Oh.
It's got good to very good reviews so far.
So it's because he usually does. It's only really good or really bad. There's nothing in between.
Well,
It's premiered at a movie festival, if I'm not mistaken.
are you like? Is this what you're going to do for the next episode, or?
No. Well, it's the movie's just come out. I'm just wondering if you've heard of it.
Well, yeah, I know that he's in A Color Out of Space.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know it was out yet, but
Like I said, it's only been at one movie festival, but yeah, I think it's an interesting concept. Hopefully, it's a good movie.
well, Nicolas Cage can. You got to admit, the guy can be really insanely awesome.
Yeah,
Not good.
He's
Awesome.
either really
Yeah,
good
if he's in the right
bad.
role.
He can
He
be.
never says no.
Well, that's true. No, but he can be great in the right role. Like, just he can be fantastic. Like Mandy was a recent film of his. It's batshit insane, and it's fantastic. A lot of his action movie roles are great. So yeah, I know of The Color Out of Space. I haven't seen it.
I'm just hoping it's going to be a great movie. That's all.
I hope so. I mean, the poster certainly looks cool. So
yeah, I heard about it the other day because it premiered at some festival, and I thought
recently heard about it.
I hope that's great.
Yeah, of course, Nicolas Cage, right? You just groan on the inside and go, "Oh no."
Well, Lovecraft movies tend to be a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
I think the source material is great, but they don't always have the budget or the creativity behind them to
and I think
make them really great, to really bring out the essence.
True. I think part of that is the audience's fault in a way. And I know that sounds wrong, but I think the expectations are wrong. They go in expecting a direct adaptation where it's just loosely based on, inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the audience's fault. That's not fair. But you get what I'm saying, right? There's that expectation, and then the audience is let down because it's not a direct adaptation of that. It's just loosely based on whatever it is. There was an actual recent, it was filmed in old school black and white, like the same style, like a silent film of The Call of Cthulhu. I think that was done maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah, they're doing that with all these movies.
Yeah.
They've made quite a few of them. So what they do is they set it in the time it was written.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of black and white ones. Some of them have been silent. So they're quite interesting.
There's one that's based like in modern times now that's actually just called Cthulhu. I think you and I have talked about it before.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a drama. It's
a
straight up drama. There's really nothing supernatural about supernatural about it until the end.
Well, there's been lots of adaptations, but most of them have been fairly average. I mean, there's some good movies, but I think they lack budget and lack enough to really make them a great movie.
Well, we just talked about one maybe a year ago, From Beyond. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's a great movie, but I mean, it's not a great adaptation in the sense it's not a great horror movie. It's a
schlock
movie.
Schlock, yeah. It's silly. It's gooey.
I'd love to see a real horror movie, a real great adaptation with a big budget.
Oh, like a direct adaptation of his work.
Yeah. I mean, there's enough material there to make something great.
I mean, there is. Cthulhu comes close in terms of serious, having a serious atmosphere.
With really great special effects to really bring out the horror. And
it would need that. I would love to see there was talks of Guillermo del Toro. I'm sure you know him as a director.
Yeah, in the Mountains of Madness.
Yeah, he was going to do that, and then they wanted him to make it PG-13.
Yeah.
He said at first, "Oh yeah, I want to do that. I'll do that," and then he was like, "No."
They did that to him with It too. I'm so fucking mad.
He was going to direct It as well.
He wanted to do like scene for scene the book,
which
it would have been glorious.
Which is It, as you might know, Bane is really based on H.P. Lovecraft's work. Like it's heavily influenced.
Yep.
Like heavily. It may as well be. If H.P. Lovecraft was alive in 1986, he could have written It. Like it's so heavily influenced by him.
Speaking of Stephen King, I was just thinking the other day when I saw that the new It is out. Wouldn't it be great to have a Stephen King universe? Because I know studios are all wanting to do the next MCU.
Yeah.
And all of Stephen King's work is basically connected one way or another.
Yeah, they are. It is all connected, sort of.
90% of it is, yeah.
So I don't know if they could actually do it though because of copyright. I'm sure he sold the books to numerous different studios, but
he has, yeah, and they own it more than he does. So
the only studio with the money to do something like that is Disney. Do we really want Disney owning Stephen King's work?
Well,
it'd be great to link them all together because, like, Randall Flagg from The Stand is
all over the place.
He turns up all over the place. You could use him as the villain who ties, all the different stories together. And
it's like a glamour, which is the creature that It is in It. There's one of those in the Dark Tower series.
Yep.
It's not
part of the later books,
or Pennywise himself, but he's I can't remember which character it is, but he's a glamour like It is.
Yeah, they come across him in like a cottage or a house or something.
Yeah, he's the same type of creature because there are more of them, obviously. So
yeah, it's really too bad. And the adaptation of It that we're getting now, it had such potential.
Yeah,
and they just, it's like they ripped the claws off of it.
Well, the reviews for part 2 aren't very good.
So. Well, yeah, because they actually hit hard with something, and people are all bitchy about it. But
that's an audience problem, I have to say.
Exactly.
It is an audience problem.
Exactly.
I don't want to get too political here, but people are butthurt because gay people get killed. So.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I heard some reviews that didn't mention that, but they said it was fairly average.
Yeah, it's probably average, just like the first one was. It was okay. It's a bad adaptation of the book, but it's not a bad movie. If you've never read the book before, you'll probably enjoy it.
Well, I've seen part 1. I thought it was okay, and I remember seeing the Tally movie 2-part miniseries in the 90s. I've got it on DVD, in fact. But
I love that adaptation.
Yeah, Tim Curry is wonderful. They should have gotten him to come back. That was so cool.
Despite it being a TV movie, it's more accurate than the new adaptation we have now.
Yep, it is.
It's rated PG, and it's more accurate than a hard R-rated film with a giant budget. Isn't that sad?
Yes, it is.
Anyway, I'd still like to see a Stephen King universe. If movie studios insist upon doing a cinematic universe, I want to see a H.P. Lovecraft one or a Stephen King one.
Yeah.
Or a Clive Barker one. That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The Stephen King one really intrigues me for sure. That would be great.
I'd be down for that.
Obviously, it would never happen, but.
Have you read Under the Dome yet, Bane?
No.
Oh, God. Highly recommend. It's one of his most brutal books. Easily.
Yeah, the TV series was pretty shitty.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, it was garbage. Don't do it. Don't. It's a freaking soap opera. No, read the book. It is brutal. It is brutal. And
the concept of people being trapped in there and turning on one another is a good idea.
The book is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Can't recommend it enough. Mm-hmm. It's one of the first books I got Master Anon to read when we first met.
Yeah, it's one of his nastiest books, more so than it, arguably.
Yeah, it's nasty.
So, should we talk about upcoming shows?
torturing me. Yay!
Yay!
I'm so
So
excited, yay!
in 2 weeks, we have the contest of the worst, the Breenies, in which Master Anon and myself go head to head, trying to outdo each other with a bad movie. I've already got my pick. I don't know what you're picking, but pick it soon so I can watch it. And then curse you.
Okay, hold on.
You both will be cursing me. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know. He loves the bad movies.
Yeah.
So
the movie I picked is trying really, really hard to be the worst movie ever made. So,
honestly, I do not see the appeal of tormenting myself with bad movies like you guys do. So this is going to be a real treat for me.
So should we come up with some kind of criteria about, how to judge these bad movies?
I would say not, because it's just going to be my subjective terrible.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to be able to actually give this shit a criteria.
Yeah, and I might be the wrong person for this too, because I am an apologist. I find merit in literally everything, and I have fun with really bad shit. So
do I. But there are some which are just so bad that you sit there scratching your head thinking, why?
Okay, so
why did you do that?
I've actually just put it in, so
good.
You can have a look.
Yep, I'll watch that a bit later. So that should be in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the 2 weeks after that, it's my pick, and I'm doing a Gaspar Noé double pick.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah. So Enter the Void, which I want you guys to watch first.
Okay.
And then Climax,
which sounds like a porno.
It's not, but it's crazy, and it's a beautifully made movie, and I'm looking forward to talking about some of the aspects of it. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it yet, but there are some interesting aspects to how it was made. And he's very visual and very interesting, Gaspar Noé. He's definitely one of my favorite directors. In fact, he's got a new movie out sometime this year. I think it might have already been released at a festival.
Yeah, we were just talking about it a little while ago, I think.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it though, so.
I hear you typing away over there.
No, I have it saved in my to watch from a certain somebody. So. Yeah.
Well, I think
I have a love-hate relationship with his movies. Like Irreversible was that's the most disturbing film I've ever seen.
I haven't made it all the way through because it just makes me feel seasick.
Doesn't it? I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I've got like 5 minutes into it and thought, no, I'm not in the mood for this. I'll watch it again some other time. So
yeah, well, 5 minutes.
No, I should watch it because I'm a big fan of his direction. So
me too. Yeah, that has the most disturbing scene I've ever experienced in a film, or the scene that disturbed me most. So maybe we'll talk about that one day.
Yeah, I think I know the scene you're talking about. I think it was banned in Australia because of that scene.
Yeah.
Australia and its censorship.
Well, that's my first experience with Gaspar Noé was I think 2004, 2005. Is that when Irreversible came out? Something like that.
It was released in 2002 in all the theaters, but like on DVD, even in Australia, it would have been 4 or 5. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because someone said to me, "Oh, this is a great movie. It was banned in Australia." And I thought, okay.
It is a great movie, for sure.
And I started watching it, and just the camera moving in that way at the start made me feel so seasick. I thought, no, I'm not going to watch this. But and then years later, I saw Enter the Void, and I thought, this is amazing. What has this guy done before? Yeah. And I went and looked him up on Wikipedia and realized it was the same guy that did Irreversible. So. Yeah. But yeah, he's interesting. He breaks all the rules, and I find him refreshing.
He does break rules. He absolutely does. he's similar to okay, I always say what's his face, but Lars von Trier, like the same type of thing. He's the fellow who directed Antichrist and
Yep.
but and Nymphomaniac, but Gaspar Noé, I think, is the oh man, I'm gonna catch flack for this from somebody eventually, but I think he's the more talented man out of the two. I love his work a lot. So
after that, it's your pick, I think.
yeah, and I've changed that a little bit from last time. So.
Okay, what are your two movies?
I have one movie.
Oh, actually. One movie.
It is one because I have a lot to say about it.
Okay.
It's 2018's Hereditary.
Oh, okay. Yep. Great movie.
I'm not going to go too far into it or go like I'm going to go far and deep into the movie, but basically, I'd just like to talk about modern horror in general a little bit after that.
That director's got a new movie out. Is it called Summer? I think, or Midsummer?
Midsummer, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Mixed reviews. I've seen some parts of it. I'm going to watch it fairly soon. I think I might just like download it and buy it that way.
Yep.
Because it's not out physically yet. But judging from the trailers and the brief plot synopsis, it's just as harrowing as Hereditary was. So
Hereditary had mixed reviews too.
It did.
I thought it was a great movie.
It's incredibly harrowing, and modern horror is alive and well. It's not dying. It hasn't gone anywhere. That's basically the whole point of what I want to talk about. So.
It reminded me a little bit of a more recent movie called was it Hunting of a Sacred Deer?
Yeah.
Which I think is a great movie. I fucking love that.
Yeah, it is similar in tone.
Yeah.
My original choice was to talk about The Witch and Hereditary.
The Witch.
Yeah. But I think that it's a little bit too much for one episode. I think we'd be here for 6 hours maybe.
Well, we can do that if you want. I don't mind.
Well, sure. I mean, I don't necessarily mind that either. I just, if it's all right with you two, I'd really just like to talk about the one movie.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's your pick if that's what you want.
Yeah, I think I'd really like that. I'm not going to change my mind again after this since I've said it on air.
You're not allowed now.
Yeah, so that's what I'd like to do. I think I have a lot to say about it, more than I've had to say about any other of my picks. I think. So. All
right, so we get a master non-ramble.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we're here for. And what's your two picks after that, Anon? So we're this is a couple of months away probably, but.
Yes, The Jacket and The Experiment.
Really cool movies. I like The Jacket a lot.
Yes, we haven't watched The Experiment yet, but I've been talking it up for ever and ever. The
Experiment, is that where they're stuck in the office building?
Nope.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
Nope.
Oh, that's on the tip of my tongue. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They both star Adrian Brody, who I think is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor too.
The only thing that ties these two movies together, other than him being the actor, is solitary confinement.
Mm-hmm.
So The Jacket is very bizarre. It's a little heady. You have to extra pay attention to that, and then The Experiment is a little less so.
Yeah, I have to say that The Jacket really surprised me.
I do that a lot to both of you.
With how heady it is, actually.
Yes.
The Jacket actually reminds me of Jacob's Ladder a lot.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, they've done a remake of that.
They have. I haven't seen it. I haven't really read anything on it because I'm afraid to. But it could be okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed the original, but once you know the ending, it kind of takes something out of it.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I really like the ending, but
no, it's.
I think the ending's great, but it's
second viewing. I can see what you mean. Yeah. But it's fun to pick things apart. Not that there are any real clues given. It's just kind of a. Yeah, I can see what you mean there. But I
think the mystery of what's going on is one of the great appeals of the movie.
Yes.
And once you learn at the end, it's still fun to watch again, but it takes something out of it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies you wish you could watch for the first time again.
Yeah.
But those are both great picks. I think all of us are going to have a lot of fun with those.
Yeah, Bane, I think you'll really enjoy the jacket. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's legitimately good. It's it'll definitely make you think. It's a good watch. So very compelling all throughout.
Oh, and then I think we've got a Akira Kurosawa after that special.
Yes, I think that's going to be super long, so we might do that on a Saturday in the middle of the day or something.
Well, it is Saturday in the middle of the day for me.
For you, but for us, it's approaching
11 o'clock.
So.
That's all right.
At a different time for us too, like maybe we'll figure something out. But yeah, that'll be a long one. The 3 picks there are from Akira Kurosawa. There's 1986. I think this is your pick, or it's mine. I think.
I pick Seven Samurai.
Yeah, that's yours. Yeah.
I picked Ran. Yes, Ran is absolutely fantastic. I guess I can describe it as just another samurai film, but just like Seven Samurai, much more than that. It's in color, yeah.
The battle scene with the music and where it goes to the silence is just amazing. You know the scene I'm talking about?
I do. In Ran, yes.
Yeah, beautifully done. Anyway.
All films are, and Dreams, which is the movie I wish with all of my heart that I could see for the first time again.
I would like to actually warn people that once you see Dreams, you can never see it again for the first time. Prepare yourself, because it is an experience.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think it's one of those films that makes film worth watching.
Yeah, I wish I had known and prepared myself emotionally just for the ride of that movie.
Yeah.
So I guess that's about 10 weeks away.
It is.
So yeah, it'll probably be close to Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good time to do that.
Oh, yeah. Christmas. Oh no.
We're gonna have to do another Christmas special.
No, I won't be in character again this time.
Oh, bullshit.
I still think we should do a live viewing of
the Christmas special.
And we could do it with a couple of other things too, like the Neil Breen. Not at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there's also a documentary I want to show you guys. I don't want to tell you what it is.
Okay.
Right. It's about a Canadian who wanted to fly. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm assuming that neither of you know who this guy is or have seen the documentary. And I'd like to record doing a live viewing of it with you guys, just to see what your impression is of
Canadian that wanted to fly. Okay.
A Canadian that wanted to fly. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Crazy Canadian.
Okay, then. You got it. Oh, man. Well, we'll see.
All right. So shall we say goodnight, everybody?
I guess. Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you next time. Hopefully in a couple weeks. Bye.